Resentfulness, racism, oppression, humanism, destructive forces, fascism, daily struggle, stress. Life's a hustle, many affliction, misconception, intoxication, modern day matrix, psychological evaluation, complicated situation, desperation, trials and tribulation, conspiracy, government greed, these devils planted a bad seed, genocide, sophisticated weapons, bowling for Columbine, devious mind, puppets, ludicrous behavior, hostile, rival gangs and confrontation, imposters, psychopath, you do the math, volcanic eruption, earthquake, brimstone and fire, lack of vegetation, starvation, television, paparazzi, the media, materialism, technology, industrial prison, solitary confinement, hallucination, recreation of our black nation, catastrophe, blasphemy. Welcome to the good life, peace and harmony, precious memories, ancient histories, homey remedies, spirituality, the supreme creator, the universe, one union, unity, equality, tranquility, simplicity, philosophies, prophecies, mental consciousness, positive vibe, generosity, compromise and solution, a free economy, resurrection of the mind, moving with capability, motivation, gaining wisdom and knowledge, collectively becoming genius and scholars, re-education, visions and dream, righteousness, liberty, strength, your belief, faith, gratitude, admiration, inspiration, salvation, total sensation, passionate, romantic, lovable nourishment, herbs and spices, medicine, organic supplement, maturity, development, recreation of hip-hop, rhythm and blues, jazz music, old school to new school, perseverance, weird adventures, great invention. It's funny cause I see your heart's intention. Journey in a life of the powerful pioneer. Welcome to the good life, harmony, precious memories.
I'm sorry,
ancient histories.
I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business.
Harmony, precious
I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world, there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls.
I said, Specs, simply providing enlightenment and knowledge to all. Journey of life of a powerful.
Can you count, brothers? I said, the future is ours. That's if you can count. Now, this is the time. It's the end. You know what I mean? It's the end of that crack rap, that booty clap, all that end of that false gun talk, killing your people for nonsense, but you afraid to bang on your oppressor. All that is dead. Sucker chump punks. Man.
Stay alert, call your local prime minister, politician, deacons, presidents. They have all given up. Visit us, you can see we live a live cinema. HDV picture plus, high frequency that's beyond the star galaxy, reducing casualties. Stay in peace while meditating on a canopy. Fatality for anyone who violate the family of men who came and reproduced and plant the seeds. Can it be? Democracy, hypocrisy, and mockery mixed together. Got a brother beat up like a tambourine. Open up your eyes and realize the difference between civilized and insanity. Without profanity and vanity, we hold a master plan like some geeks in the Ivy League. Dream team like Matumbo in the 90s. Besides, we tribes of soldiers repping like the Marine, rocking that RBG, red, black, and green.
Can you hear me? I speak clearly. I came down like the angels that breathe Mary, burn it down like the Israelis till my eyes get teary. In the wrong path where they try to steer me, but I never get weary. I'm mindset materialistic, my holistic. And I'm the dawn like Eli Elion. I speak the truth, have your minds running marathon.
Catch a brother climbing mountains like Tomb Raiders for information. Opposition remains shredded like fax papers. Recall like Vega, crumble you up like fabricated newspapers. You all are on the social Tomb Raiders for information.
Eli Elion. I speak the truth, have your minds running marathon.
Catch a brother climbing mountains like Tomb Raiders for info. Catch a brother climbing mountains like
holistic. And I'm the dawn like Eli Elion. I speak the truth, have your minds running marathon.
Catch a brother climbing mountains like Tomb Raiders for information. Opposition remains shredded like fax papers. Recall. Catch a brother climbing mountains like Tomb Raiders for information. Opposition remains shredded like fax papers. Recall like Vega, crumble you up like fabricated newspapers. You all are on the Schwarzenegger with a total recall. We moving major, Noriega, sky high, flying high, swimming with rods. Next stop, teleportation, traveling back to when my people were naked, minus the lustful thinking. We move folks like the system moved Abraham Lincoln. I think y'all are foreign to fiction. It's demolition, breaking down sound barriers with a rhythm. Rainstorm, brainstorm, create an exhibition. What a beautiful sculpture. You welcome to visit. Lyrical fitness to keep the mind brolic, like sipping tonic and ginger water. I'm here to warn ya.
I'm a powerful pioneer, and time change, so I gotta change my mind frame. Just call me to volunteer, help you out for free, and I don't even care, cause everybody money hungry in this atmosphere. See, we living in a concrete jungle, and if we don't stay humble, we all gon' fumble. And that's why I intercept lifestyle that we live so imperfect. Flows intellect, chillin' with the specs, NYD's the team with all due respect. Check yourself.
We are surrounded and bombarded by millions of megawatts of natural energy because the sun blows a solar wind which crashes towards the Earth. Since the Earth is a giant magnet, the magnetic field called the magnetosphere protects us. HAARP's original patents were designed to distort or alter the magnetosphere.
For the man with the better plan, the weatherman, for the man with the better plan. This is the life. This is the life. For the man with the better plan, the weatherman, for the man with the better plan. This is the life. It's a crazy day out here, winds gushing from the east to the west. Hemisphere hurricane insane is heading towards our way. Taking doors off hinges, fences, cars and cows floating. You better move. Water raving over levels, get out the canoe. Yo, I need like 8 panels, 4 drivers, sound off the flute. I think I see a whirlwind heading toward the Nile River. Little kids pointing their index finger, saying, look, look, all the things that's happening now was mentioned in a good book. No one knew what he was doing when he built the ark. I'm not trying to be swimming with the world and the sharks. Kids dying in the park, caused by a tornado, destroying anything that approaches its radius, making it harder for New England to become patriots. The temperature's rising, ice water dropping from the skies in the time when the moon lights and the sun declining, volcanic erupting, killing fishes and other sea animal. The Arctic ice defrosting, while rain is pouring, minerals are forming, other things happening. Man, you better pray that the weather change up, cause today's forecast sucks. Reported by the weatherman. Weatherman with the better plan. The weatherman with the better plan. This is the life. This is the life. Weatherman with the better plan. The weatherman with the better plan. This is the life. This is the life.
Every cell in our body has a powerful magnetic substance called magnetite, which responds sensitively to magnetic fields in our environment. If HAARP is altering the magnetosphere, which is the magnetic field of the Earth and all around it, surely this will have an effect on our health and on our physiology.
HAARP's combined antennae generate a focused billion-watt high-frequency radio beam, which penetrates the lower ionosphere and interacts with the currents of the auroral electrojet. During this modification, this pulsing beam stimulates the ionosphere, creating ELF waves which can move great distances through the lower atmosphere and penetrate into the Earth.
hold on. I'm talking and the whole thing was muted. How's everybody doing out there tonight and everything like that? I was saying, these tracks are on point, especially the Weatherman song, especially the other one talking about Tomb Raider, getting that knowledge and Total Recall. I had to play that back like 4 times. That was crazy. That was crazy and everything like that. How's everybody doing tonight? Let's see how many we got.
Everything is good, brother. How are you?
I'm good. I had to going through the Telegram looking for some cool pictures, and then I saw some people in a quicksand.
Uh-oh. Quicksand.
Yeah, the heated room or whatever that was.
Oh, yes.
Looked like a quicksand. I said, uh-oh. Oh, man. All right, yeah, we're going to get started at 8:30. I'm gonna have to play these tracks when I'm driving my car on the Bose speakers or whatever, because I know these tracks would sound crazy in the car and everything with the yeah, I'm definitely gonna do
What? Just have surround sound.
Yeah, I got like surround sound, like every time it booms the car jumps or whatever. But yeah, so it doesn't really jump, but yeah, it's definitely nice sounding in there. Welcome everybody who came on the call tonight. We definitely have an impactful session and some guest speakers as well. But before we get started, would anybody like to share something positive that happened to them during the week? It could be business, it could be family, whatever the case may be. Introduce yourself, introduce, your service, what you offer for the community, and then we'll get started. Who would like to go first? Would iPhone like to go first? Or let's see, who's here? I can go first. Who'd like to go first?
Peace and love, family. This is Sister Ayoka. I'll gladly introduce myself. How's everyone doing today?
Nice. How are you doing today?
Oh my goodness, I am absolutely awesome. Brother Raymond, it's a pleasure to see you.
Definitely.
It's a pleasure to be here, and hey, what can I say? I mean, you just have to give thanks for everything that you have and everything that you are, So, yes, I am Sister Ayoka. I am known legally as Michelle Formé, but affectionately, I primarily go by my Africanity. So in that sense, I am Sister Ayoka. And I help to represent a fantastic program called the Buy Black Movement. And, this program basically is teaching Black people to support Black-owned businesses consistently. Because at current, our consumer power is benefiting plenty of people that do not look like us, more so than people that do look like us. So the primary aim, of this wonderful movement is to teach Black people that to whom we give our dollar, we empower, you see? So a lot of the social ills that we find ourselves within right now, poverty, lack of decent housing, lack of decent jobs. Yeah, you have a few of us that are making it. I myself work as a teacher here in Brooklyn, New York for the city. But, there are too many of us who don't have jobs with halfway decent benefits. And we're out here, living from hand to mouth, right? So it's not enough to be just become complacent on your own comfort, on your own survival. We have to look at the masses, you see? So yeah, again, that's again, the primary aim and objective of the Buy Black movement is to get Black people to patronize Black-owned businesses consistently to bring about our economic empowerment. So that's the long and short of that. Again, I am so grateful that, the Supreme Being has blessed us all to be here together, networking tonight. And I look forward to nothing but positivity coming out of this congregation that we have right here, where we're looking to empower one another and empower our communities. Thank you so much.
Definitely, no,
Wonderful.
most welcome. Wow, that is definitely well said. Yeah, I remember when I saw you a few occasions, especially pre-COVID, when we were networking outside at the African festivals and things like that. And I think the last thing I remember you showing me was like detergent or soap or something, and that you could, if you're a Black business, you can put your product on a platform, for people to be aware of. So I thought that was really amazing and really cool and really
Absolutely. Again, and you are talking about the supplier program. See, the Buy Black movement has three parts, right? You have the supporter program that refers to the Black people who buy consistently. Then you have what's called the marketers. These are the Black people that sell the products and services, high quality, I may add, Black owned services and products. That's another aspect. Then you have the third aspect, which is the suppliers. These are the Black people who supply the movement with their fantastic, high quality products and services. So this movement is what you call self-contained for Black people. And it is very much patterned after the magnificent works of our beloved ancestor, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, and the wonderful Black people that worked with him, a little over 100 years ago to establish the UNIA and teach Black people, across the globe that if we band together, there's nothing that we cannot have. There's nothing that we cannot achieve. And he helped to prove that by establishing at the height of the UNIA's movement, well over 6 million Black people across the diaspora, right? With a plethora of businesses, you understand, that highly organized, just moving up in the world. He proved that Black people can actually work together and build like we used to do during ancient times. So this wonderful movement started by a fantastic young Black millionaire couple, okay, who made it big in multi-level marketing. They said, listen, why don't we produce a multi-level marketing company that only markets Black-made products and services to give Black people who are in business a chance to flourish, okay? That's what they did. They used the groundwork, the example of the UNIA to put this whole thing together. And I am here to let you guys know, I have studied under these people going on 11 years now. I have worked side by side with the founders of this movement. I know how sincere they are. You understand? So I look forward to sharing more with you guys tonight. Thank you so much.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Go ahead.
I just have to say that it's wonderful to see young people talking about Marcus Garvey. I'm 70 years old, and I came up in the 60s, and I saw the Dr. King movement and the Freedom Riders and the Black Panther movement. By the way, today the Fred Hampton movie came out, and it looks to be an amazing performance. And I'm just happy to see young people talking about all these things that were talked about in the 60s and kind of got pushed aside as other things took over our community, including crack, which was imported from overseas to destroy our communities. I'm glad to see young people talking about Marcus Garvey again. I happen to have a friend who's working on a documentary about Marcus Garvey. So my name is Vernon Gibbs, by the way. I was a music critic in the 70s, wrote for Essence Magazine, and I was one of the founding editors of Essence Magazine. And I was also a A&R man at Arista Records, my gold and platinum records behind me. So I've been involved in a few different businesses in my life, but it's very, very impressive for me to see young people taking up the mantle and reiterating for our community some of the things that we've been talking about for close to 100 years or more, longer than that, ever since we came to this country in 1619 against our will, which is Black unity. And this is probably the best time in history for Black business because of the internet. And we've just entered a new era, a technological era because of COVID, where we've entered into what will be eventually a totally digital, global, worldwide economy. So there's no better time that we've ever had to create Black businesses because of the internet. So I'm glad to see young people working in these areas. There are other developments coming. Cryptocurrency is a real thing. The blockchain is a real thing. It's not just hype because of Bitcoin. Those are real technologies that are taking over the global economy. See JP Morgan and people like that getting involved in cryptocurrency. It's real. So we need to find ways to connect all these platforms for the benefit of our people. I've heard people talking about Black economics and Black unity from the time I was a child. So we shouldn't just talk about it. We should be about it. The internet allows us to do that. So I'm glad to hear the sister talking about what she's been developing with multi-level. Multi-level and the internet are made for each other. So I look forward to being able to help you. I'm an independent representative for a company called Auric. They work with multi-billion-dollar payments companies, including global payments. And about 2 years ago, there was a lawsuit settled that allowed merchants to change the way they pay for merchant processing services with credit cards. And so what I'm here to talk about is the ability of anybody on this who takes credit cards to stop paying those high fees. You can replace that with a flat dollar amount. So instead of paying hundreds of dollars a month, or some cases thousands, you can replace that with as little as $99 a month. Think about what it was like when phones, you had to pay extra for long distance, had to pay extra for extra minutes. Now everybody pays a flat dollar rate for unlimited service. It's the same thing with credit cards. As quiet as it's kept, that is now available to anybody who takes credit cards and is still paying those fees. So that's one of the things I'm involved with. I was invited on this call by Maury Allen. Thank you, brother, for the invitation and for the introduction to this group. I'm going to listen. I've talked enough. I want to hear what everybody else has to say. Glad to be part of this. Nice to meet you. Nice to see young faces,
Thank you.
with, ready to take up the mantle. Beautiful
Thank
thing.
you. Nah,
Thank you so much.
you guys have blessed us with the opportunities that we have today, and we have to recognize the contribution for that ability to be able to talk on the internet, without fear of getting hosed or hit, and things like that. Of course, you got to be mindful. We're not naive, right? But at the same time, we still got to pay attention. So, you guys have put that mantle to take the charge for those who want to help in that regard in a positive way. So that is very, very, very powerful, and I was like, oh, he's in music. He got the CDs behind him and stuff. I was like, that's
These
cool.
aren't CDs. These are albums.
Albums.
See how young you are.
Oh man. So are they the 60s or the 45s?
These are the LPs.
The LP, okay.
LPs, long
LPs.
plays. Yeah.
Got it.
Obviously.
Got it. I got to show you some of the 45s. I got them downstairs somewhere. Nice. Cool. Well, welcome. Glad to have you. We look forward to seeing you, on other live stream events that we have, and and things like that. And we look forward to hearing, some of the lessons that you can impart upon us, the stuff we may not know, or stories that happen that we're just not aware, not aware about, and things like that. So before we continue, I just want to ask, you know, what got you into your passion or your being of what you're doing, you know, today, you know, from like what is some of your story? Because a lot of people, brother Murray knows you, but you know, we don't know you, you know, beyond what you said. So can you share a little bit with us, you know, what is your passion? What is your passion that got you where you are today?
Ladies first. So the young lady who spoke first, I'd like to hear her story.
Okay,
Oh,
same
okay.
thing. Yeah, same
Sure.
thing.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Well, I would say that what's gotten me to this point in my life today is my level of spirituality. You see, I must say, a good 30 years ago or so, I was able to tap into a fantastic way of life. That is what we call African spirituality. And in doing that, you know, it helped me to learn more about who I was as a person in this world, who I was as a spiritual being, you understand. And, you know, that has propelled me to study different thing, right? Nutrition, astrology, different astrological systems, just have a more of a clearer perspective of life in general, and also have a very much holistic view of what my purpose is as a spiritual being. Okay. And one of the main things I know that to be is that I am here to not only uplift myself in terms of being, spiritually cultivated, but I'm also here to uplift everyone within my midst. You understand? So since that is one of the primary reasons that I know that I'm alive, then it would make sense that anything that I choose to do in my life, you understand, it has to be with the goals in mind of that of upliftment, right? So, in that being said, I went into the profession of education, following behind the blueprint that my mother left for me. She was a great educator here in New York City as well. She taught in the public schools, and then she also went into the arena of what's called administration, right? So, me myself, my background, I have a heavy background in the sciences as well. So I thought I would, tap into that essence and also go delve into the realm of education and teach. Okay. So that's one of the main reasons why I'm teaching, obviously. Um, and so, okay, that got me in the arena where, I could help to empower our children, you understand, because, that whole thing begins at the childhood level in terms of trying to have people to live at their zenith, at their highest part of their being. It helps to influence them when they're as young as possible, you see. So, that was a tactical move on my part. It's harder to change an adult than it is to help to program a child the right way, you see. So yes, that's why I'm in that profession. In terms of how did I get to be the community and spiritual activist that I am? Okay. I have a heavy Afrocentric background. As a child, thank God, our ancestors and the Supreme Being influenced my mother at the time that I was, say 4 years old or so, to enroll me in what's called an independent Black school. Okay. So my primary orientation, as to the importance of my Africanity, the greatness of my Africanity, the greatness of my Blackness, that started when I was young, when I was, again, 4 years old at least. Okay. So in this independent Black school that I attended, the name of it at the time was called Uhuru Sasa Shule. That is Kiswahili, which translates to Freedom Now School. Now, just, from that translation alone, you can only imagine that their curriculum was about making sure that we as Black children knew that we came from greatness. So we were inundated with the knowledge of the greatness of our ancestors, the greatness of, the Black people that came before us. People like Nat Turner, Harriet Tubman, definitely Marcus Garvey. My first introduction to Marcus Garvey was at that school. I'll never forget when my teacher gave a wonderful lecture. See, at that school, we didn't call our teachers Mr. and Miss. We called our teachers Mama and Baba, from the African tradition, with the understanding that they're not just our teachers, they're also our parents. You understand? That's a part of the extended family, right? So I'll never forget Baba Saeed. One time he came to teach my class and he gave us a wonderful lecture on Marcus Garvey. And it was at that day, I couldn't be any more than say 7 or 8 years old at the time, but it was on that day that I learned of the vastness of the influence of this great man and how he was able to get Black people working together and how it got to the point where we had our own ships, you understand? We had businesses all over the place. I mean, that enamored me. To this day, I remember that day, so many years ago, I may add, but that lesson was just so powerful, you understand? So, again, that's how I've gotten my start in life. I am so grateful to my mother for making that move that she did in enrolling myself and my little brother at the time in that school, giving us the proper foundation, that we need to have in order to live the best life that we could in this society where, being Black is viewed as being inferior to being white. That's one of the better things that we can all do with our children when they are very, very small. You must inundate them with the truth. You must, program them, if you will, with what they need before they are ultimately programmed, by what's going on in this world today. Okay, so hopefully I've answered that question. Again, you got a little something from my genesis to where I am today. I love you all, and I'm going to stop talking now. Thank you so much. Peace and love.
No, thank you. Powerful, powerful. Thank you for sharing. Very, very insightful. Very, very insightful. Guy, did you hear her passion of what she's doing? That's what we have for our business, for what we have, and with the collective economics of unity that we portray, hence the Blackstream channel, hence the Powerful Pioneers conference call, Fridays at 8, and also the Monday night calls that we do as well to help people be prepared for the week to share their business with that positivity. So very powerful sharing. Thank you very, very much for that. Now I'm going to pivot to the young executive who had like platinum hit CDs.
Well, thanks for the young part. In thinking back, through my life, the one thing that I see that's consistent is that I've always been able or willing or wanted to step through doors and go into spaces where I wasn't invited. And, that's what I've done through my entire life. And the thing that enabled me to do that was a teacher who identified the fact that I had a talent for words and had an ability to write from the time I was, probably 12 years old. And one teacher identified that talent in me, and that enabled me to get the confidence to start writing without any training. And that opened up all the doors that have opened up for me throughout my life. So I appreciate what the young lady said about teaching, how important that is. We have to remember that our first teachers should be our parents, and that we should be teaching our kids from the moment they're born. I have grandkids now, and that's the first thing that we do with them. We teach them in the ways of our community from the day that they can start to understand. So that's the most important role. So I had a teacher who helped me identify my talent, and consistently through life, I've done things that I wanted to do because I had the confidence in it. So now at 70, I started a cryptocurrency company 3 years ago. I knew nothing about cryptocurrency, but the reason I was able to get involved was because I met somebody who shared my passion for education. And, I felt confident that I could do it because I had done things throughout my life that I had no training for, and I didn't belong in the room. All my partners are Chinese. Some of them hardly speak English, but I'm the co-founder of the company. So I'm again in a room where I don't belong because I have the confidence to be in that room. So the most important thing is to have confidence in yourself and your abilities. And the best blessing a young person can have is for somebody to identify what talents they have and help to nurture it. So the reason I'm where I am today is because somebody did that for me, and because I was able to use that confidence throughout my life. I did A&R at Arista Records with Clive Davis with no training in A&R whatsoever. There was not even at that time, and there is now actually a school where they train A&R guys, but in the 70s, there was no training for that. So I learned to be a music critic without any training. I learned to be an A&R man without any training. And I've been able to do things throughout my life by just having the passion for it and the confidence in myself. So I hope that everybody shares that same passion for what they believe in and maintain that confidence in whatever you're doing throughout your life, because confidence will get you a lot further than training in some cases.
Right.
And that's been my case. I'm not going to say it's the same for everybody, but confidence is a huge factor in getting where you want. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That's that is really deep. That is deep. Confidence and training sometimes takes the confidence to get the training, or the training those confidence, or vice versa, depending on the event of situation. It's interesting that you said the A&R. Brother Rojo and I were talking about that a while back, how sometimes the A&R may not be in, I don't want to say not in music today, but maybe in music companies, with the A&R division of it. How, I guess real quick before we also get to the main topic of tonight, how does that, basically when music first came out, not when music first came out, but what you experienced back then till now, what would you say, I guess, is the difference between the A&R then compared to the A&R now, or is there even A&R today in existence?
Yeah. Well, I haven't been in the music business in quite a few years, but my understanding of how the business works today is a lot of the A&R is done from sourcing online. So you have to actually begin to get a following online because there's so many open free platforms, and creating music, which used to be a long, expensive process, now you can do it in your bedroom. Some of the biggest artists, including Billie Eilish, created their Grammy-winning records in their bedrooms with just software and an internet connection. So the cost of creating music has dropped, and the distribution has changed completely. So, nobody's shipping CDs anymore, and you can sell your records online. So the A&R function has been taken over by the crowd. So it's being crowdsourced because the A&R guys go to the internet to see what's bubbling, what's going on. And a lot of the artists are breaking from that. #1 record in the country right now by a new singer. I think it's called License Plate or something like that. But somebody who came out of nowhere again. A couple of years ago, there was the country rap singer, can't remember his name, Country Roads or something like that. But he was on the Grammys. He won, Artist of the Year, an album that was produced in his bedroom for a few $1,000s at most. So the A&R function has been taken over by the internet and by the crowds. I'm sure there are still people at record companies whose job it is to pick the right producers, put a record together with the songwriter and the artist, but that function has largely been outsourced. The way it used to work in the 70s was that people would literally send us their demo tapes. We'd listen to it, and if we thought there was something there, we'd get in touch with them and try to make a deal with them. A lot of the A&R was done through production companies. A lot of it was based on relationships. So it was an analog world in the 70s, and today we're living in a digital world. So the whole game has changed completely. The thing that doesn't change is a hit song. There's something to it that makes it different from 1,000 other songs that come out. So songs still have to have, something that's catchy to the ear, a lyric that's interesting, and a good performance, whether it's created artificially, like a lot of performances are today, where a lot of singers are using auto-tuning and pitch perfect, machine-aided vocals, or back in the day when it had to be done in 1 or 2 or 3 takes. It still has to be a good performance. So there's some things that are the same, but some things that are completely different. So that's the long and short of it.
Thank you for sharing that, because we definitely did feature different artists, in past Friday nights, so it'll be interesting. We got to have them back so we can also have you on, so you guys can rap about different aspects.
Love to do it. I'm actually working on music right now. For a few projects. So I'm still in it.
Oh, nice. No, that's amazing. That's amazing. I in general thought A&R was, to help the artist develop, not just with music, but like if they need creative writing, if they need help with math, if they need help with sentence connection, because a lot of people today, like you were saying, go on Instagram, go social media, download this thing, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're a success. But do you know other basic things that will help you become purer at your craft?
Yeah, I just want to say one other thing, just for historical purposes, that the A&R function actually changed with each decade. So in the 50s and early 60s, A&R men were musicians, who could play well enough to do demos. And the ultimate A&R man was Quincy Jones. And interestingly enough, I followed Quincy Jones at Mercury Records by, I was there at Mercury in 76. 76. I was there for 1 year. Quincy Jones had been an A&R man at Mercury in the early 60s. And he produced records by everyone from Sarah Vaughan to Leslie Gore. So that's quite a breadth of difference in talent and in style. But of course, he's one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest producer, arranger of all time. But the A&R function used to be controlled by actual musicians. And then at some point when recording became more complex, went from 4-track to 8-track to 16 tracks, the A&R guys started gravitating towards the studio where they could make more money. So the A&R function became an executive function. So that opened up the door for non-musicians like Jerry Wexler, who was Aretha Franklin's producer, but he was not a musician. He was a writer like myself. He wrote for Billboard. And so it opened up the door for non-musicians to do A&R. And so you had a different kind of executive being A&R men. And one of the greatest A&R men of all time, Clive Davis, cannot write or sing a note, okay? But he was behind Santana, Whitney Houston, and you know, he doesn't write, he can't play, he can't sing. So the function became different. It became more of an executive function. You had to have a certain amount of knowledge and taste in order to, you know, be in that role. So I guess with changing technology, it's changed even more. And now you have to be internet savvy and know what's going on in social media. So as technology changes, it changes everything else. So as I said, we're now at the beginning of a new technological era. COVID has changed the world, and what we're going to be seeing from here going forward for the next 10 years, it's going to be a completely different world. And we're just at the beginning of it now. So I want all you young people to take notice of what's going on and make sure you're a part of it. And that really includes blockchain and cryptocurrency.
Yeah, we need to talk about that. I was telling Brother Rojo, I'm going to introduce a program to the group where you literally get paid every single day, with one of my business partners that told me about in relation to blockchain technology and different aspects that of a different resource. So I definitely want to share that with the group, especially you, because I was counting how many times you brought it up. So I said this is good, and a mature generation individual knows blockchain, because a lot of it is perceived that young people know blockchain more than the other generation. And it's good to hear you actually say the word blockchain, actually know what it means, because that is really rare. You know, so I definitely want to build with you on that, to pick your brain about that, and also share with you something that has been a blessing besides the financial education that I do in relation to helping music artists, business owners keep their royalties and also keep their revenue and make sure that it's tax-free with different strategies. So definitely got to connect. So thank you for sharing. So I'd like to go to the next individual. I wasn't sure if Ayoka had a formal presentation available, or I wasn't sure.
Okay. Yes, I do. You know, so whatever the protocols you all have in place, I am prepared to render that when you're ready.
Okay, definitely. And I want to share also, as she's preparing for that, the topic for tonight, as we're discussing business ownership, as we're discussing unity, I want to make a note that, especially this being, Black History Month, and, so shout out to people who started Black History Month, shout out to people who are doing something about Black History Month, and also shout out to people who celebrate Black history every single day. And it's not a month, it's just your being. And that's also what's important, right? So with tonight's topic, as part of the event today, the topic is everyone is busy doing something, but nothing is like getting done, right? So as we share our thoughts, I want people to also speak on that. A lot of people are doing a lot of stuff, but it's stuff getting done. And since stuff may be getting done, what are we doing as a unit, not just within Powerful Pioneers, but as a whole? What are we doing to get things done in light of the new world that we're in? Because we can see people being busy, but is that busy also with the unit, or is it just being yourself busy because you're just trying to get that money? And not saying money's a bad thing, but like, is that with the collective, or is that more like individual? So I also want to discuss that as we're going through, sharing people's businesses and thought processes like that. All right, so I'm going to do a share screen. I'm going to do multiple participants. So you definitely have the floor to share. If you have a PowerPoint or a showing, you should be able to do it.
Are you speaking to me directly, Sister Ayoka?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm
Oh yeah, no,
up right
definitely
now.
you. No, definitely you. Yeah, we don't want to have like everybody sharing. It's like blah. Yeah, so you're good.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Well, peace and love, family. Again, I am absolutely enthralled to be here today, and as concisely and as quickly as I can, I'd love to share some more information about the wonderful program called the Buy Black Movement. Here's a lovely, colorful brochure that talks about it. And I don't want to be too quick. Here it is, right? The actual family who are the founders of this, Brother Delzino and Sister Deborah Wilson Debriano, they're seated right here. You'll see them on the website as well. Okay. Now, the thing about it, beautiful people, is that I'm what you call a tag team marketer for the Buy Black movement. What it is this company, Tag Team Marketing, which is the umbrella company of the Buy Black movement, they primarily target the Black consumer industry. That is their primary target. And, Tag Team Marketing International, they have various programs, okay? The Buy Black movement is one such program that they primarily highlight to deal with the fact that, as I've mentioned earlier, for those of you who were here, Black people are right now consuming something like, we're spending something like $1.3 trillion in consumer power. That's been the case at least in the year of 2017. It did dip the last time I checked, like in 2018, 2019, I'm sorry. It dipped last year, 2020. That's what I last saw. And that makes sense. You had the onset of COVID-19, a lot of us lost our jobs, but it only dipped down to like 1.2 trillion. So it didn't dip that much, okay? So here's the, graphics is very important. I just want you guys to see. Look at this graph right here. This is a wonderful pie chart that I was able to bring about for our people to see. The red is the monies that Black people are spending in non-Black owned businesses, right? Again, as of 2017. The blue, that little sliver right there, is the 3% that, we spend in our own businesses.
Wow.
Well, I mean, a lot of us, we're just not cognizant of that. And, there are many reasons why that is the case. One might think, well, Black people just don't care about buying Black, or, Black people are just ignorant and, they don't care that they are empowering other people. Well, what I learned through the various programs of Tag Team Marketing is that nothing could be further from the truth. Quite frankly, many Black people would love to patronize their own people. You understand? What's basically happened with that is a lot of us have been conditioned towards patronizing everyone else through mediums such as television advertising, radio advertising, right? When you look at the average television commercial, most of the products that are being portrayed are not Black-owned products. And so, there's a lot of factors there, okay? Now, the products that Tag Team primarily markets through the vehicle of the Buy Black movement are all, as I've mentioned earlier, high quality Black made products. Let me give you a sneak peek over here of what I'm talking about. You see, believe it or not, Black people actually make laundry detergent. Check this out, y'all. New Wash laundry detergent, right? The official laundry detergent of the Black family. The brother that makes this, he actually happens to also be not only a supplier of that. Well, you only need one scoop. Let me show you how the scoop looks. But he's also a marketer. Okay. This one scoop of this laundry detergent is powerful. This stuff works better than Tide. Okay. Yes, I've used it for years. I know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about set-in stains that you have. You soak it for a few days. Those stains come out. Whatever doesn't come out at that point, you keep using the powder, and then after a while, the stain is gone. With other laundry care products, I did not get that result, but I did with this. That's why I say it works better than Tide. Okay, in other words, it keeps working. Every time you use it on your clothes, it's constantly refreshing them, constantly cleaning them. This stuff is amazing. Then you have natural body care products, right? We have another supplier who makes something called God's Gift Herbal Soap. This is natural soap. The brother has a farm, okay, in Walnut Cove, North Carolina. He makes natural deodorant, all right? Everything healthy for the body, you know what I mean? You look at how people are coming down with all kind of skin cancers because they're using this cheap so-called 99-cent soap that they're getting in these, bargain stores. But how cheap is it if you're coming down with all kinds of skin cancers and you have to, absorb the medical fees to remedy yourself from that? So no. You want to pay for quality. Yes, this is $6.99, but look at the ingredients here. Let me read it for you. Neem oil, olive oil, coconut oil, soybean oil, castor oil, shea butter. It goes on and on like that.
You said six.
Yes.
I'm sorry. You said $6.99.
Yes, for one bar. Okay.
Oh, that is good because, in short, I want you to continue, but I mean, I just went to Stop and Shop and I bought some stuff and it was a little bit more than $6.99. And
okay.
So I'm gonna need both those links.
Wow.
Or when you're you need to forward me that or put the link in the chat for that.
Oh, right, I definitely will.
But continue. No, continue. I just want to say that, but continue.
Okay, I won't be long, I promise. Just giving you a little snippet of what's happening here. We have this wonderful product. Here's what it is. Delzino and Deborah Wilson-Debriano. Let me go back to them now. When you go to the Buy Black Movement webpage, you will, I have it here on another tablet. You can go to, here's the cover page here. At the bottom, you see the current stats. They're currently a little over 72,000. I don't know if you can see that, but I'll just read it. 698 members so far worldwide. Free members. Again, it's free to join. And on this side, you'll see that currently they've sold 177,720 Black-made products. Okay, that is to be commended because you have Black people who have been in business for a number of years now. They cannot come close to that. They barely can sell 1,000 products within a number of years now. Okay, so that means that Brother Delzino and Sister Deborah Wilson-Debriano, they know a bit about marketing. These are master marketers that, just to give you a little history on them, they're both computer science engineers by profession, okay? They work for corporate America, as we're told, you get your education, get a job. They did that, but they still found themselves homeless as a result of that. I mean, think about it. Two highly educated Black people, engineers, sleeping out of their car. How does that happen? Well, it happens when, number one, you're working as an employee, when you don't have much control over the industry, right? That's where you find yourself, okay? So, their businesses downsized. They found themselves downsized. They found themselves unemployed. They found themselves homeless. That's what happened. So a friend of theirs introduced them to some white man who had made it big in multi-level marketing, okay? They, joined the company, learned everything they could from the white man, but they wound up outproducing everybody in the company. The name of this company was called, it still exists today, but back in the 90s, it was called ACN. I don't know if any one of you are familiar with that company. Yes, back then, they marketed long distance phone service. So these Black people, hungry now, right? They joined the company, they learned about multi-level marketing, and they wound up outproducing everybody else in the company.
Wow.
To the tune of they were generating something like well over $100 million a year for ACN. The 4 white men who owned that company, of course, I shouldn't say of course, but this is what I'm told what happened. They reaped most of that harvest. In other words, for every $100 million, Brother Dozino and Sister Deborah helped them to make, building a large team of well over 230,000 Black and brown distributors to that company. They themselves only got 1 million per 100 million. That's all they got. Yes, that's it. So the people within their team got far less than that. But I mean, it was a far cry from sleeping out of their car with no place to live. So all right, they dealt with that level of exploitation. They stayed in that company for about 8-9 years, and what happened was the white people began to become intimidated because Delzino and Debbie. Okay, that's how they formulated Tag Team, and all of this is in the About Us section of the Buy Black movement. You learn all about the founder. I know it's hard to see. All about the founder. Their sister Debbie, right? His wife, the vice president. And, you learn all about their history, the purpose. Let me just read the purpose real quick. The purpose of Tag Team marketing is to bring the Black community into a condition of economic power. That means that we aim to help create so many prosperous Black-owned businesses and create level of production so high that the Black community becomes permanently wealthy. And nothing, not even a bad economy, can bring it down. Let me tell y'all something. This is like their religion. They're serious about this. Because as I was saying, when they were in that other company, yes, they found themselves being heavily exploited. And the white, what they did was, that's when they formulated something called Tag Team. Tag, T-A-G, that acronym stands for the African, back then it stood for the Atlanta Group because the company was based in Atlanta, Georgia. So they formed something called Tag Team, the TAG, the Atlanta Group Team. That acronym stands for Together, Everyone Achieves More, okay? Now, Tag Team, they changed the meaning of the A in tag. It's the African Group now. Because see, what they had to do, once they began to, kind of blow up in that business, the white people began to feel intimidated. Because Debbie and Dozino, what they did was they started giving their own Black Business Network empowerment lectures throughout the country and even in other parts of the world. This is how big this thing got. Here in New York City, they had something like 40,000 Tag Team members, right? Philadelphia blew up. Different areas in California, Sacramento, Los Angeles, big teams were being established all over the world, Tag Team. Black people were joining this thing in droves, okay? So the whites, they began to feel a little intimidated until they started doing things to undermine their communication with their team, right? So to make a long story short, Delzino and David said, listen, these people are exploiting us anyway, and now they're doing things to undermine what we're doing. How about we do this? How about we leave ACN and we start our own multi-level marketing business where we only market Black-made products and services? So that's what they did. Now think about it. This was something that they built, and they created what's called a Tag Team marketing system, which speaks to their compensation plan. I will just, talk a little bit about that. So they created the Tag Team system, did all this stuff, but they found themselves in a position where they were being exploited and tampered with. Imagine leaving the business, even if they're only generating a little over $1 million a year. Imagine leaving that business and starting from scratch. That's why I truly respect them.
That's brave.
That's what they did. And not all of the people, many of the people that they helped to cultivate back then did not follow them. A few have, though. But a lot of them did not follow them. And many of them who were doing very well in the old Tag Team, they began to fall by the wayside, unfortunately, right? So anyway, that brings me to the compensation plan. Okay. Now they remembered how exploited they were. You know, only getting 1 million per 100 million. That's like getting 1 cent out of a dollar, right? So when they created their compensation plan, they're not playing, y'all. Their compensation plan is to the point where you will earn, right? Like up to 70% of the gross of the company. They're not playing. The work you would only do a fraction of the work that they did to earn $1 million in the Buy Black movement. That's how they got this thing set up. They're not playing. And to drive that point home, let me just show you, they have 7 ways that you get paid with their compensation plan. They're not playing. And both of them being computer science engineers, they've pretty much programmed the websites to that effect. And I can tell you, having been a marketer for Tag Team for going on 11 years now, I see exactly every dime that I make with every product that I move right away. They've never been late in paying me my money, my checks, right? Everything is technologically savvy. It's just awesome, phenomenal. You'll see that for yourself when you check out the website. So again, 7 ways of getting paid. Number 1, you earn from the sales you make. That's a given. You earn from the sales of your team. Remember, it's a multi-level marketing business that they have attached to this. So you build a team and you get paid up to, I believe it's 8 levels deep. Yeah. And it's just phenomenal. I mean, I'm not going to, go into, no, I'm sorry, 7 levels deep. Yeah, 7 levels deep. So, but I was confused. It's 8% though. On your 7th level, you're going to earn 8% but you'll have so many people on that level. On your top level, you earn 5% of what they do. And then they have the levels in between. And then in your 8th level, which would be your most expanded level, you're earning 8%. Okay, it's just phenomenal. You also earn from when you refer suppliers. Okay, you earn a bonus from that. Okay, then you have something what's called a quick start bonus, which means I get a person to come in as a marketer. I help them to move up 1 level in the compensation plan. I get a bonus just for helping them out, and they also get a bonus. How cool is that, right? Then you have what's called leadership bonuses, right? And then you have, I told you about the supplier bonus. And then you share in the cash pools. This is when you are, in the upper echelons of being a marketer. Here you have something called national team leader. Then you have master marketer. When you are a national team leader, you're basically a millionaire here. When you are a master marketer, you are what's called a millionaire maker. This is how they have this thing set up, patterned behind the system that they cultivated in the early days of Tag Team when they first got that thing up and rolling. So again, this is just a snapshot of what's going on. There's no way in this small blurb of time I can give you the full essence. So I'm just helping to, give you just a taste of what's happening here. So the training system, again, is fantastic because we have 24-hour online training. We have access to 24-hour online training where they have, different recordings that you can tap into 24 hours a day. You also have direct training with the actual master marketer himself, Brother Delzito, and Sister Deborah. Anyone who comes into this business right now has direct access to the founders of this company because this thing is so early. This is the genesis. Anyone coming in as a marketer right now stands to be on top of a money mountain very, very soon. Again, we only have a little over 72,000 free members. How many millions of Black folk are in New York alone? How many millions of Black folk are in the United States alone? How many millions of Black folk are in the Caribbean, in Africa? This thing is not just limited to the United States. Okay, so just keep that in mind. All right, and just as our brother eloquently stated earlier, this is a wonderful time to be involved in any business that has an e-commerce factor, the internet factor, because as we see, more and more people are beginning to rely upon the internet, to do our commerce. So it was it was wonderful foresight that Delsino and Debbie had for putting this on the internet years ago, before all of this fanfare with COVID and everything. They had the foresight to know that you can survive. Look at what's going on with a lot of our people in business in the brick and mortar establishment now. They're losing the revenue that they depended on to survive. They are gone now. That's it. This COVID has just wiped them out. Not that a lot of them weren't even doing that good without the COVID. Now, definitely with the COVID, they wiped out. You see, you can't wipe out the internet like that, So that was, again, a wonderful move on their part. They did also have a brick and mortar store in Atlanta where they have the warehouse, right? You come in as a supplier, you ship off your goods and services, well, mainly your goods rather, to the warehouse that they have still in Atlanta, Georgia. And from there, they handle the shipping to the customers. And that brings me to, the wonderful aspect of being a supplier, which is that you don't have to worry about customer service. You don't have to worry about shipping and handling. I know it's hard to see. You don't have to worry about inventory. They handle all of this at their warehouse. All you do is ship your products to them. And they handle everything. And they have marketers such as myself and other wonderful Black people strategically placed throughout the country to also promote your products. How cool is that? And you can be in the supplier program for a little over $1,000 for the whole year. That's unheard of for people who know that you got some companies, they want $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 just to warehouse your product. They don't sell nothing for you. They don't have marketers, out here selling your product just to warehouse your product. You're talking about thousands upon thousands of dollars. You're going to pay for that. They're not selling anything for you. They do it all for a little over one measly $1,000, 1 year contract. That's unheard of. Not only do you get those services, but pre-COVID, they have wonderful presentations that they do throughout the country. You're talking about Black millionaires now, lugging Black-made products in their suitcases. I've seen it with my own eyes. I stood next to them. I've even worked with them in that capacity. They've been here in New York a few times. I was able to host them, to have presentations here in New York at churches and other places. They bring that stuff themselves, lugged in their suitcases, and set up tables to sell those products along with what they have online.
Wow.
These are Black people that care. I work with people, Black professional people. You're not going to catch them dead bringing somebody else's product somewhere to sell. You understand? These are Black millionaires doing this. They don't have to be doing that. They've made their money. You understand? And they have their investments that they're living off of and other things that they're doing. But they have to love our people to do this. They have to. Okay? So, again, that's just a snapshot. Here is, I'm going to wrap it up because I know other people have to go. Here is the muscadine grape capsules, right? Many people may not be aware that there was some recent research that came out this last year, November 30th, that came out. I have it up here. Let's see, that indicated that they found that there are elements within the muscadine grapes that neutralizes the COVID-19. I only saw that like one time on the news, and then you don't see it anymore. Of course, you're not going to have out there every day because they rather you believe more so in the vaccines and what have you, which I'm not trying to say you should not take the vaccine. What I am saying is, however, there are natural products that deals with this virus. And this research just came out, like I just said, came out, a study done by North Carolina State University. They just published this, that the muscadine grapes neutralizes the COVID-19. Now, they've been marketing the muscadine grape capsules for years now. This stuff is selling out like crazy. It was selling out even before that because this is excellent for pain, right? It's excellent for building the immune system as well. If you have a cold, you know, you take this, it helps to minimize it, get rid of it. But now we come to find out that this stuff helps to neutralize the COVID-19. Come on, how sweet is that? Okay, and let me just talk about another product, which is our #1 product right now. What #1 selling product? Something called Motherland's Gold Moringa. Oh my goodness, I cannot say enough about this Moringa herb. Moringa is grown on a wonderful tree, primarily in Africa, but it's grown in other parts of the world now. And the leaves of this tree are highly nutritious. If you Google right now, the most nutritional plant on earth, what will come up is Moringa. So scientists have recently discovered that the leaves of this tree contain all of the necessary amino acids that our bodies need. It contains 46 different antioxidants. It contains 4 times the vitamin A of carrots, 7 times the vitamin C of oranges, 3 times the potassium of bananas, right? Not over 90 essential nutrients. Let me just give you a quick story. Now, you know, I've been teaching in the public school system for going on 21 years now, you know. And what I found happening in my earlier days of that is I found myself becoming ill, getting colds and getting the flu, especially between the time of September and December. Okay, well, and I mean, I used to take a lot of vitamin C, all kind of other things to help the immune system, but I still would be getting sick because I'm around a lot of, you know, our students who, unfortunately, their parents are not nutrition savvy. They let their children eat all this junk food and whatnot, so their immunities were compromised. They come to school sick a lot. So, okay, I'm a, you know, close-up kind of teacher, so, okay, I would be exposed to a lot of germs. Beautiful people, let me tell y'all something. This product first came out with the Buy Black movement, but back then it was called the Black Business Network. This product came out in August of 2011. I started taking this September, August 2011. I did not get sick not one time from September through December. I did not get sick not one time. I said, okay. It got to be this. Because like I said, prior to that, I was taking the vitamin C, echinacea, all kind of stuff, still getting sick, okay? 46 different antioxidants. You cannot tell me that this product didn't help to shield me from the COVID. You cannot tell me that. You cannot tell me that. Because not only is that the case with me, my customers who take this, and I have elderly customers that's been taking this. You know, they go out, they use public transportation. They have not gotten sick with the COVID either. They have not. So, hey, you take it how you want to take it. They have the tea, right? They have different varieties of the Moringa tea. We have the drops. They have something called the Moringa pain relief remedy. Excellent. I suffered from lower back pain due to something called arthritis. I'm like, I don't want to hear I got arthritis in my back. What you talking about? Anyway, I put this on there, takes the pain away. But guess what? Let me go back to the muscadine grape capsules. The muscadine grape capsules are what really did away with this pain. I take this, I hardly have that pain now. Okay? So beautiful people, you know, they also, they have natural cosmetics. Here's some, nail polish. A sister who creates this, what she did was she removed a lot of the harsh chemicals that causes cancer, replaced them with, you know, more safer chemicals. Again, I was going to talk about the Ebony Secret. This was their first product that they began to market when they left ACN and they created what's called the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network speaks to the supplier program. Okay. Ebony Secret is a wonderful skin conditioner. It was primarily formulated to help men, Black men, in particular, who have bumps when they shave. Well, it turns out that this helps to get rid of those bumps, right? It makes the skin very smooth. Well, Black women are taking it too. And I can say that, you know, I did have a problem with acne I don't have that problem anymore. Also, it's very good for getting rid of blemishes, all kinds of things. This is some powerful, powerful stuff. And it's very, very safe. You know, you have cucumber essence in here. You know, you can drink it, in other words, and you won't die or anything. You won't get sick. Okay.
Nice.
Natural, all natural, but it's powerful. Okay.
Nice. So definitely put the link. Thank you for sharing. Let's clap it up for her passion. I definitely, you know, if you're on mute, just, you know, clap or, you know, snap your fingers. Definitely, you know, reach out to support her with the Buy Black movement. She did an amazing orientation to what she offers and a mixture, a plethora of products and services that the company offers. So I know I at least want to try the soap, and I want to try the detergent because I just finished washing clothes earlier. So I definitely want to try that. I definitely want to try that and things like that. I do have a devil's advocate question for you, and I want you to aim for 30 seconds to answer it best as possible.
Sure.
Has anybody ever approached you and asked, the company offers all these products, but are the products scientifically tested or laboratory tested, things like that? Because yes, we want to support Black businesses, but at the same time, people may have that scientific mindset. So with people who ask that question about the products, what is the best is 30 seconds? What is the response for people who might have that in the back of their heads?
Yes. Well, all I can say is the product has to be thoroughly tested and what you call bona fide before they even make it on the shelf of the Buy Black movement. They don't accept products that don't have, you know, the necessary certifications and, or the Food and Drug Industry stamp of approval on them. They don't accept anything like that because of the very concerns that you have insinuated in that particular question. No, they don't have time for that. So yes, you cannot bring them a product. So, okay, I'm making toothpaste. Here you go. No, if it's not accepted by the ADA, right, the American Dental Association, no, they cannot take the chance that it could be something toxic and it could hurt people. You have to understand, they have a licensed corporation. This is, you know, a real business. This is not some fly-by-night thing they put together and, you know, yeah, come, just buy this stuff. No. This is the real deal. They're not playing here. They're here to help Black people to be economically empowered. You can't do that if you're being sued left and right, for stuff that you really should have had handled in the first place. No time for that. So to answer your question, yes.
No, good answer. No, thank you for being straightforward with that, because, you know, people who are gonna watch this later on Powerful Pioneers TV, YouTube, you know, they may be thinking that type of question. So thank you for your answer. And of course, with the topic of everyone busy doing something, but nothing getting done. So your organization and group is definitely very busy and is definitely getting things done among the unity among our people. So that is very, very powerful. The next person I would like to bring on board to share with their vision, with their dream of what they do for their business. You know, this person is actually on travel right now with Powerful Pioneers and is definitely rocking the house down all the way in Florida. You know, I even hear the weather is beautiful over there with 80-degree weather, 90-degree weather. And she even brought the storm along with her with X-Men to make sure that it stays warm down there, right? So I definitely would like to introduce her. This is Latonica Reddy, and she also has different businesses, you know, that she's about. And I believe she also does spoken word. So I'm not sure if she's ready to talk or share on her passion and topic, and also the topic of everyone busy doing something, but nothing getting done. So how is she and others incorporating everything to be done with what we have to do? Not sure if she's ready. That amazing.
Okay. Hey. I'm not sure about that spoken word, but greetings, everyone. As we may have stated, I am Latonica Reddy. Like you said, I do a lot of things, so I hope my message get across. So yes, my name is Botanica Reddy. I am a reflexologist for reflexology sessions. I mainly offer sessions during wellness events. Um, I'm also a birthing and postpartum doula. I help women advocate for themselves and also help them with postpartum, their mental and physical health after they have given birth to their bundle of joy. Um, I just help them as an extra pair of hands to for them to have an easier transition into, whether they are just becoming a mom, transition into motherhood smoothly, or just adjust to another child being in their homes if they've already have been through childbirth and was already a mom. Um, it's very vital that you know you have enough hands to help with caring for the baby, of course, and whether they need any errands done or anything, that the mom gets enough help, you know, whether it's family members, their partners, or someone like me, a sister like me, who is, open and willing to help out a bit for for um, for a little while, mostly just a month or two. Um, it is very vital that their mental health is in check and their physical health is also in check as well. So I help out with that. Um, I'm also a brand ambassador for a lot of the companies within the Powerful Pioneers organization. And of course, I am also a brand ambassador for Sister Ayoka's brand that she promotes so elegantly and fluently. I really commend you, Sister Ayoka, for your thoroughness. You are very much so a thoroughbred at what you do. You are very passionate about what you do, and I really, really commend you on that. I aspire to be just like you in those ways. Um, so yes, I am on tour with Brother Rojo and a lot of the other members on the team, Brother Mixed Breed, our selector, Sister Kathy with the Exuding Wellness, and of course, Brother Du, who's another brand ambassador, promoter, giving thanks.
Nice, nice. Thank you. Very, very well said. You guys got to throw some heat up here from Florida so I can get my car. I got to shovel my car out, so I need some to melt
Absolutely.
My car is stuffed in the driveway, but I'm gonna get it out though. No,
Yeah.
definitely. And this is her Blackstream page, guys. Blackstream.live /Expo Sacred Rose. She has different links and websites here of the Blackstream platform. She also has a podcast that she does, and also a Patreon page. And she also has a way to book appointments as well. This is also her link tree where she lists her different businesses that she supports, and it's very, 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 very well done. This is the Blackstream as well, the link tree. This is her Spotify page for her spoken word, and it's very interesting. We have a music production A&R individual.
Absolutely. Greetings, brother. How are you?
I am definitely going to put you on blast on purpose.
I can always count on you to do so, Raymond.
Definitely. So we're going to do a throw.
Exactly why. Okay. I was going to say, this is exactly why I love our Power Pioneers family. We're not just an organization. This is a full-on family. So, you know, brothers and sisters such as Raymond and Sister Ayoka, who always, you know, are there to push you to be your greatest self. You know, I doubt that Raymond would ever allow me to shy away from certain titles. He's like, yeah, no, you do this as well. She does this. Hey, yeah, she ain't say so, I'm gonna say it for her. So I appreciate that. And, you know, it's the same thing even on the trip. We say you shouldn't ever be promoting yourself. You allow your team to do that, you know, and it's very vital. And it shows camaraderie, it shows respect and love and passion for, you know, being a part of the team and being there to support, you know, each other, you know. And like on this trip, on this on this tour, like tonight we were headed to an event, and you know, everyone has their position of what they're supposed to do, but we are there mainly to promote all the other businesses within our organization, within our community, our family, you know. So everyone within the Powerful Pioneers organization is here to boost up their fellow entrepreneur, you know, and that's what we are doing. And, you know, it's exciting to actually be here in Florida. We, you know, we have the event tomorrow. We have an event tomorrow and on Sunday as well for, you know, the Olympic gold medalist Mushami, and, you know, very, very famous celebrity dancer, Sister Tanita. She does a lot of African, you know, African style dances, and she usually does the event in Africa and Ghana, but because of what's happening on in the world right now, she's having it here in Florida. And you know, we're just gonna be there promoting, you know, our fellow entrepreneurs within the Powerful Pioneers organization, you know. And so a lot of people, Raymond, I'm telling you now, you better get your, you know, your pen and paper ready and things, because you may have, not may have, you will have a lot of people calling you up for when we're promoting you at these events, man. Your phone is going to be all going off nonstop. And there's a lot of, yes, it's a lot of, you know, a lot of celebrities that's going to be there. So
nice.
We're going to big you up.
Yeah, no, word. No, that's official right there, because, you know, celebrities are people. And sometimes people misplace status. Exactly. When you look at an individual as a person, they're people.
Absolutely.
Everybody needs help.
Right.
No matter your income level.
Yes,
you know,
and that's
that
why
you know, important.
You always gotta. I take into consideration when Broho is like, listen, we all celebrities. You know, there may be other celebrities there. They may be more known to the world, but we're the celebrities as well. We show up and show up. You know, show and improve.
Exactly, and that is what's so important. You know, because the different people I met that would be called celebrities, but you know, you have a normal conversation. You know, they bleed, they cry. You know, they eat food.
Yeah.
You know, so we can't put.
But I think, it's a difference between being a celebrity. You know, you're well known within the masses, but then, you know, also the component of fame. I'm sorry?
Can you're breaking up. You said the component of faith, you said? She's still there? Check 1, 2. I don't know, she broke up. Can you hear us? Check 1, 2. Latonica, check 1, 2. I don't know if her signal went off, but her line's connected. Uh-oh, she went off. So what I'm going to do as she gets back on, Brother Rojo, let her know that she went off for Mixed Breed. Let her know that her signal went off if she doesn't know. What I'm going to do, I'm going to play one of her poetry sessions, because we have the one and only Mr. A&R in the building. I think you should hear a little bit of what she what she does. So for me, if you want to feature her one day for different things and stuff like that. But I'm sure she would not be shy to let you know future things. And if she was on, she'll probably throw a rock at me right now for saying that, but it's okay.
What's happening, beautiful people? In this day and age, we all need an outlet and an easy way to make money. So if you have something on your mind and in your heart that you want to get off your chest, start your own podcast today. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm on your computer to get started. There's creation tools to help you record and edit right from your phone or computer. Anchor will your podcast for you on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more streaming sites. And as far as money, honey, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Again, no minimum listenership. You have everything you need right in one place. So go ahead and download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm and get started today. What's happening, beautiful people? Welcome to Sunshine and Haiku, where poems shines light on even the darkest of topics and breathes life back into the dull and mundane. I am your host and resident poet, Latonica Reddy. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy yourself. Since this is the first episode, I do want to let you all know that Sunshine and Haiku will not be all puff pieces, cotton candy, and rainbows, even though yes, they are all dope, and I dare anybody to tell me otherwise. Poems on this podcast will have range and depth, meaning some will be light and airy, yes, but others will be heavy and very, very personal. Others will be political, and some others will be highly unprofessional. So, if that sounds like your kind of party, stick along for the ride and expect a new episode every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's no agony like bearing an untold story inside of you. Zora Neale Hurston. I stand up strong because I've earned my backbone. I walk tall, stand tall, stay strong. My love is like fire, it's purification. See, the strength of a woman is within her vulnerability, and I've achieved that tenfold and then some. I've been someone's fool before. Someone's devil, someone's lover, someone's angel in disguise. I've done it all with tears in my eyes and a smile on my face. I can never hide how I feel inside for too long. I crave transparency in the shedding of my own corpse, see. I've ripped my heart out for everyone to see more times than I can count. I brought myself to show and tell. Can't you see the beauty within my complexity? Both happy and sad, sane and insanity, enraged yet understanding, grown with a childlike innocence, though not so naive anymore. Yes, I've embraced all of me. I'm learning to love the darkness in me just as much as my light, because it's the parts of me that I've neglected the most. All the pain, all the anger, all the mistakes, all the regrets, they all live there. I went from martyr to mother. I became the mother of my inner demons. But this Lilith will have a happy ending. Brought to the light, there's no hiding from my truth, see. I had to abort a perfect relationship in order to give birth to a better me, and it seems that my story isn't over. It's just transformed.
They did the fingers at a poetry session, right? Or something like that. You know, so that's a little bit of her. She has, this is her page here, Embracing the Truth by Latana Coretti. She has other features on here as well. So definitely, definitely check her out and everything like that. And so I want to hear from the man of the hour. What are your thoughts on that beautiful poetry that just happened right there?
Well, I hope you can hear me. I can't see myself on my phone anymore. Okay, yeah, there I go. Yeah, so it reminds me very much of Nikki Giovanni's work, and this is a great time for Black spoken word. We just saw a young lady blow it up at the inaugural with her poem, and become an instant star worldwide. So the spoken word is what we've always lived by. And, I was happy to be at the beginning of rap, because that was another example of us making something out of nothing. So the spoken word is our most powerful asset. It's what has kept us going. It's what unifies us. And I have to say again how impressed I am by this whole thing, that by everyone on this call and everything that you're doing. And I think she's great. She's in the Nikki Giovanni space for sure. I don't know how many of you remember her. She's from the great poet from the 70s, still making work, impressive work.
Wow. Latonica, wow. I knew, you know what? Wow.
I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. I'm sorry. Where I'm at, the connection is really, really bad. So I have to move somewhere else because we was in a car. We're actually at the venue now, so it's kind of loud. I caught a bit of what you were saying, brother. I really, really appreciate it. And you know what? It's funny because every time I speak to my aunt Lorraine, she'll say, "Hey, here's the Nikki Giovanni of the family."
Right. Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, thanks, auntie. But yeah, she said, yes, I read your post every day. How's the poetry going? I'm like, thanks, auntie. I really appreciate that. I actually, my family had asked me to write the eulogy for my great grandmother, Nana, God rest her soul. She had transitioned, and they actually asked me to write a poem for a eulogy and say it at the funeral. So I'm like, man, my family is really paying attention to what I'm doing. I really appreciate that a lot.
Well, soon more people will be paying attention because you do good work, and it's good to combine your talents in this way. I'm glad to see that, there's a network. That was one of the questions I had about how everything was being spread around the world. And I see that there's a network that I was not aware of called Blackstream. And, so that's the way to go, to spread everything that we're doing, poetry, business, new ideas, spread it through the internet and make sure that everything's connected. So I'm glad to see that that's going on. Yes, congratulations, keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Yeah, that beat you had at the end there, you should, stretch that out and make a whole song around it. That keyboard riff that we was playing at the end. I don't know where it came from, but it's very catchy.
Absolutely, I'll definitely look into that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
There we go. I just want you guys to imagine, I know you see her face when it pops up, but just imagine the cheeks going up that you can't see, So that's why everybody to imagine it, right? And so anyway. But definitely shout out to Latana Coretti for that poetry on her page.
Fantastic, sister.
Yes. Beautiful, beautiful, amazing, amazing. And this is what we do here with Powerful Pioneers on Friday nights. You know, Powerful Nights, Blackstream.live as well. You know, we definitely representing what we're doing as a cause. We're definitely representing our people, and we are definitely getting things done while being busy, not just being busy to be busy. Say, look at me. Like, no, it is a collective unit of everything that we are doing. And that is what's so powerful. And that is also what unifies us. So thank you, Latana Coretti, for sharing your passion and also what you do. And then I would also like to keep the floor open for people who, you know, didn't get to share their passion, their cause, their yearning of what they do for business, what they do for entrepreneurship. You know, we have a lot of topics on here. You know, we may even get, last time we were on here to like 1 a.m. almost, and people didn't want to go to bed. So that was kind of funny when that happened. So, you know, when you guys are talking also about your passion and your career, you know, I want you to talk about, you know, how it started, your yearning, you know, what does your health mean to you? What does your wealth mean to you? You know, just your journey, you know, of where you came from and what led you to what you're doing now. You know, so who would like to go next and share? You know, no, technically no particular order. You know, whoever would like to share, you know, is welcome to share. Let's see who's trying to. Let's see. I see the cookie. I see Miss bake a cake on as fast as she can. Let's see, guys. You know, Deborah Mack makes some great cakes and some great cookies. I don't know if she has them. I don't know if she has them by her side, but she makes an amazing bread, all natural bread as well. Not sure she'd be able to talk about it, but it is definitely amazing. We also have, who else is in the health field, the health and alkaline field that's on? I think I saw Sister Kathy come on as well. Sister Kathy, are you available? She has an amazing spread that she makes of health food, and she also is developing a very cool app, an application that helps promote, you know, a healthy lifestyle, which is amazing as well. Not sure if are you in a position to speak on that. Not sure. Let's see. Hold on.
I'm running out of power, so I'm going to have to move my phone.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, definitely. No problem. You're good. You're good. And everything. Hello, Miss Kathy. Hey, how you doing?
Great. How are you?
Good. Happy to see your face. Haven't seen you in a while.
I know. They gave me the link. I came on. I was like, Raymond's the host now? That's amazing. Look at you.
Thank you. How's the little one doing, the Miss Entrepreneur?
Oh my goodness, she's doing great. So now she's into nails, right? So she still wants to be the staff, but now she wants to do the nails, and then next it'll be the hair, and she's all into painting. So very artistic. She's doing amazing.
Nice, amazing. Tell her I said what's up. I don't know if she remembers me, but tell her I said what's up. And
I will. How's your mom?
She's good. She's in the other room. You know, she's starting to watch you know, 90210 and like Nikita and everything like that.
The old one or the new one?
Huh?
The old one or the new one?
The old one.
Look at you, hilarious.
Yeah, I was like, what are you watching? Oh, all right. I'm like, okay. She's like, drama. I'm like, like that's 90210.
Why people crazy, right?
Yeah. It's like one cliffhanger after another. She's like, and then Nikita, she fights, you know, so it's funny. No, but she's good though. Tell Lisa what's up, you know, and everything like that. Awesome. But I want to talk about your initiative and your vision and goal, because you have new apps that you're developing for the people. I remember last time you had food plans and food lifestyles, and you also had like original, forgive me if I say it wrong, like original caramel or like some treats or something last time at the last event. Like your food is always creative and it always tastes good, whether it's a sweet or like a veggie. Like everything you gave me to try, it was never nasty. It was always good. You know, and I don't know how you do it, but everybody has their specialty in what they do. So I would love you to elaborate on your mission, your cause, what
For
got you.
sure. Yeah. I mean, so the secret ingredient is always love. Like you just throw all of that in there, and I'm gonna tell you, food does not come out bad because people taste the love and they're like, "Damn, this is bomb." But so basically, what happened was is that I recently revamped the business because what I was noticing was that people were coming to me. But then once they could no longer afford me, or once they felt like they wanted to do it on their own, they weren't consistent with it. And I truly felt like I was doing the world an injustice by just, providing them the products and then just providing them the meal preps, because it's so much more than that, right? Like, so my clients now though, so the whole movement is for you to unleash your greatness, right? Like renew your mind, energize your body, bring joy to your soul. The motto hasn't changed. It's just, how are we now going to get there? Because to energize your body is so that your body has enough energy for you to be able to take action. Because you have all of these goals, you have all of these dreams, you have all of these aspirations, and you're just tired of being stuck. But then when your body is tired, you're not going to be able to do anything because you're trying to get up off the couch and your butt is just like, no, wait, one more episode. Hold on. Let's wait. Let's binge watch this. It was so good. And let's let go of that, right? Let's learn how to get up, get active, get moving. And then to renew your mind, like your mind is literally the most powerful arsenal that you have in your artillery right now. And if you can learn how to truly harness that power, like, dude, sky is the limit. Like you can manifest greatness just off of what you're thinking and how you're speaking. So we get really, really into that. And then to bring joy to your soul, right? Like nobody wakes up and is like, yeah, I want to be mediocre, right? They're not like, yes, let me just pay taxes and die. Let me just hang out on the weekend and that'll be my highlight. Like, dude, you know that that's not your life. I can tell you I have kids and the dreams that they're dreaming for the future. It's like, we don't want to be mediocre, but for some reason we got placed inside of this box and we can't seem to get out, right? So we'll have like little bursts of joy, little bursts of happiness, those little laughter, like I'm so excited for my life, right? Like I wake up before my alarm, I'm jumping out of bed, I'm getting stuff done. People are missing that. And so that's where I come in, right? So basically, I walk you through the whole process, right? We show you how to make healthier swaps for your foods, right? Like you like fried, instead of frying up chicken, fry up some mushrooms. You like all of the sweets, so instead of eating the candy, eat the dates. Like, how can we show you how to make healthier decisions so that this way you have more energy? Right? You don't feel like you're giving it up. It's not like, oh, I can't eat sweets no more. It's just like, no, you just now can't eat colors and numbers, but you can still eat sweets. So it's showing them how to do that, and then really having everyone define what their dream life is. You see, but you know what your gifts and talents are. Even if you're like, oh, I don't know. You know, because it's what you want to do. It's where you really want to go in life. It's on the things that make you super excited, right? It's the stuff that you geek out on. Like we all have that one topic that we could just talk for hours about. Like that's your gift. And because that's your gift, you now need to give that gift to the world. So how do we get you out there where you again, you're taking those action steps and you're really making things happen. You're seeing results in your life. You're doing that 10%. And the universe is throwing you that 100 right back. So that's what I do now. So basically, we have the membership program where we're going to be doing, we do the live challenges so that this way it's not like I'm throwing the whole kitchen sink at you and hoping that you'll catch it. Like it's really important that that we do a lot of mini goals so that this way you experience the mini wins. And then you're like excited to continue to go forward because you're like, yeah, I just banged out 7 days. I could do another 7 days. And, you know, it was so amazing. I'm manifesting my greatness right now. Just off of how you speak, because it's so important, the words that come out of your mouth. Like, you can't expect someone else to tell you how amazing you are, right? Because the way that other people treat you is a direct reflection of how you treat yourself. So if you really want to be that great, amazing person, like, what are you telling yourself? Are you having those pep talks, right? Like, it's not even affirmations. Like, are you having those pep talks with yourself? Are you really sitting yourself down and being like, why did you do that? You know you shouldn't do that. Like, we need to be internally reprimanded, and not from outside people, but from ourselves, because what's the bar? So it's all about just teaching you how to level that up and how to just get better and unleash your greatness. So the membership site, again, so it has the challenges, right? So it walks you through, every month we do a challenge, and then we have the meatless recipes. So it's vegan and vegetarian. Yeah, because we want to meet you where you're at, right? So it's about incorporating more fruits and vegetables into your life, getting more of that fiber and those nutrients in. But again, it's not about sacrificing. Like, we don't want you to jump out the window and hope that you could fly. You know, we want you to look out the window, see how far the drop is. Do you need a parachute? Should you just go with the stairs? You know, like, to really plan this out and then take the action to accomplish it. So then we also have home remedies. So it would be like skincare remedies as well as like tonics and stuff like that, so that you can really take control of your own health. And then we also have, I call it the level up education, because you don't know what you don't know until you don't know it. So let's start giving you the helpful hints and showing you where you can start making these smarter decisions that are just going to benefit you now and in the long run.
Wow. I cannot wait to see the program and the application, you know, and that is a very smart and fun business model. You have to retain and have people be aware and knowledgeable and interaction, you know, with stuff, especially with everything going on now. How can we capture that market share that keeps us energized, keeps us motivated, but at the same time, you also keeping and motivating yourself to do what you have to do. You know,
exactly.
that is so key. So I cannot wait for that program. Are you doing like trial runs, like 30-day trial runs?
How does that work? Hit it on the head. I was gonna wait for you to stop talking, and then I was gonna jump in with it. But no, you got me. You beat me to it. So it's exudingwellness.com/trial. So you get a free 7-day trial of it, so that this way, you know, you can test it out. You can check out the recipes. You can do a challenge and just really see how you like the information. It's always updated. Again, we just launched this like last month. So we're always putting in new recipes, because you don't want to get bored, right? Like, that's another thing. Like, you need to be able to have variety in your life, because same old is like womp womp, right? Nobody wants that. Like, you want to be excited. You want to be like, oh my God, I'm going to eat that. That was so good. You don't want to be like, oh, oatmeal again? Like, no, nobody wants that. No. So again, so we're always updating it. So new recipes, new challenges, new education is always launched every single month, because it needs to be exciting and it needs to be fun. And again, it has to have those action steps where you feel like you're winning. So you don't want to go a whole month and then weigh yourself and be like, oh my God, I gained 10 pounds. Like, no, you want to make sure that you're on track with that every day, every week, you know, have that goal that you're hitting.
Wow, exactly. No, I definitely agree. You know, it's so funny you say that, because, you know, these last 2 months, you know, I changed a little bit of my eating. You know, not going to front. I still am going to have a chicken, not going to front, but the majority of my plate is like cut up vegetables and the sea moss and the turmeric seasoning. And I called Rojo one time. I was driving. I'm like, what is this weird energy forming inside? I was like, I'm full, but I'm
But you don't have the itis, right? You're full
there
with
we go.
energy. Yes, yes.
Exactly. I'm driving. I'm like, what is this? I was like, what is? I said, I like this feeling right here. I said, this is crazy. So I said, all right, well, you know what? Let me have the majority of my plate this, but still have that chicken or two just to retain that taste, but not the main meal. Have the other stuff the main meal. And then, of course, when you wake up in the morning, you know, your bathroom smells really fresh, right? So...
Oh, which is another thing. Oh my God, so I'm going to touch on that because like most people don't do it, but what comes out of you is a direct reflection of what's inside of you. So if it's smelly, if it's all shredded, and if you have to wipe like a whole bunch of times, like these are signs that it's not a healthy poop. Like you should literally just be like pooping, wiping out the door. And it's not for so many people. Like you struggle just to get it out, right? You're like,
it's funny. It's funny, Kathy. You are so real. You know, I try to like make it all cute and sugarcoat. She says, "No, when you poop, it's supposed to be." You know, it's funny, and I'm experiencing that changed too. It's now the good way, the better way that you just said. You know, you just sit there and it's like you're a toddler again. You just stop
and boom, straight out.
You're done. That's it. And,
you don't even, by the time you open up your app to go on social media to play a game, you already done. You're like, that's it. Oh, wait, what?
Yo, Kathy, you funny.
It's the truth, though. It's the truth.
That is funny. That is funny. We got a hand up. I think the individual wants to respond to what you were saying or the topic. We're just having fun here, you know. So I see Duke Romaine. I hope I said your name right. Roman. With the hand up. Did you want to come on camera? Or you want to give a shout out? See here.
Oh, yes, I want to give a shout out to Powerful Pioneers and a brand ambassador because I am a brand ambassador for Powerful Pioneers. I just want to show you my location right now. This is one of the benefits of being a brand ambassador. Hold on.
You guys in the same location?
Yes.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep. We have this black.
We're on different sides.
Yeah, we have this black-owned Browns. It's called Browns Kingdom. It's a museum with it's also a lounge, also a restaurant. Right now, it's active. Right now, it's a party. You see drummers. It's beautiful, just African art. On the side, we got a little music park over here.
Oh wow!
People flying, flick shots. People are flying, and then little music park this side, and then it's beautiful out here. That's all I want to say. But yeah, you know, we out here and it's just been beautiful. I got a taco right here too, so we just enjoying ourselves. Peace.
Nice. Now, thank you for the share. Now, thank you for the share. You know, you realize, guys, they're not wearing sweaters or jackets or even mini jackets. They have shorts on and like short shorts. I did that today. I was walking around on the porch for like 1.5 seconds with short sleeves and came right back in to put on a sweater. You know, so awesome. Happy you guys are having a blast. Have fun down there. I remember when I had some business conferences, you know, we would go down when it was cold up here and go down to Florida, Orlando, Miami, and it's just warm, you know, so to definitely enjoy the moment, reflection, the peace that is so powerful to do, you know, that is so powerful to, you know, to have that and things like that. You know, so definitely. Does somebody else want to share something real quick? I wasn't sure if that was Duke who wanted to share with a message. I'm not sure if Latonica wanted to share something as well. I'm not sure if she wanted to say something extra since she's out there too or not.
I want to make a comment.
Oh, go ahead.
The young lady who spoke first with the black products.
Ayoka.
I just want to, you know, tell everyone that there was a period when the phone companies basically allowed resellers, and that's what the ACN business was. And that, you know, I'm confirming everything she said. is 100% correct. I had a sister who's an attorney who was in multi-level and resold telephone services at the time. So the basis of the business is a very solid business, and that multi-level is a real business, and that you can do very well in it, and it's perfect for the internet. So I'm just saying I'm going to be buying some of those products because, you know, we all should. We should just buy them and not think about anything else. Instead of using Tide, let's use our own products.
Exactly.
I was amazed at the graph that she showed that only 3% of our business is Black owned, and we're spending trillions of dollars. I thought it was more like 10%. I was surprised at that. We got to do better. There's no reason not to. So I just want to say once again, she is a very passionate, you know, promoter of her products, and that's the kind of passion that we need to keep the movement that started when we first landed here, you know, going into the future. So I want to congratulate her, and, you know, I'm going to be buying those products for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. She definitely did put, I believe she put her information in the chat. So, you know, you can definitely click on it. If you click on the chat box, look at her website or information. I believe she definitely did put it up there for people who would love to share, you know, and get noticed. Also, Miss Kathy, please also put your information in the chat box as well for people who would like to do the trial app and stay updated on your program or the different varieties that you will have, you know, for your service with the food, with the workouts, you know, with things like that. Please definitely put it in there. For those who are with her, please let her know to do that as well, because I know it could be noisy over there with all the fun going on. So that is official. That is definitely popping. All right, who would like to, you know, the floor is definitely still open. You know, we basically keep it going. You know, there's technically a time frame and there's technically not a time frame. You know, again, the thing is, you know, we want to keep busy, you know, with things that we're doing for positivity and things like that. So, you know, the floor is open for who would like to share next about their business or their service. You know, we have bakers, you know, on the line. We have other entrepreneurs. We have Mr. Murray Allen as well. We have Deborah Mack on as well. So you don't have to put your video on if you don't want to. You know, if you can, that's cool. But definitely, you know, share with people, you know, what it is that you do, you know, as well for positivity and knowledge as well. All right. So who would like to go next? I didn't really share more or less what I do like that, but I want to give the floor to other people. I mean, the other videos you can see on Powerful Pioneers TV, you know, you can go there to see more of what I do, because I go in simple form and advanced form on Powerful Pioneers TV with the videos that are up there. So who would also like to go next to share, who didn't get to speak yet, and things, you know, and things like that. Let's see. Don't know if, let's see. Murray Allen, you're in the building. Deborah Mack, you're in the building. I don't know if they're able to chat or not. I'm not sure if it's their video or audio. I'm not sure, whatever the case may be. But what I will do, can you guys see me? Where'd I go? Okay, there we go. So one of the things that I also wanted to share as we're moving along is that entrepreneurship, business ownership, along with the power of streaming. So, and the different time frames from then and now, because it's two different things. And I'm definitely going to leverage this question because it's very interesting here. And also, I asked the young people, well, last week or so, I changed the question, I asked the young people 2 weeks ago about the importance of tracking your royalties in the music world and also the entertainment world versus then compared to now. I remember Will Smith had a CD. He said, you know, something million records sold before, you know, all this digital stuff was out. Now there's digital stuff, right? And people believe they're on the map. But back then there was no computer digital stuff, you know. So royalties back then versus royalties now might be two different things, you know. So I was curious for people. I mean, I wish we had the other ones on, because it'd be an interesting conversation. Yeah, we gotta do this again. I'm sorry, I know I'm going around, but we gotta have you back on and the other ones on, because this would be an interesting dynamic to, you know, to listen to. But as far as you understand, I was watching Ray Charles movie, and the producer said you can think in pennies or you can think in dollars or something like that. And I think he said, I like the way you think. So I'm curious, what is your take on the royalty business of music and entertainment back then compared to the royalties and entertainment business now? I'm just curious on your thoughts.
Are you asking me that?
Yeah, I mean, anybody could chime in, but yeah, you know, I'm curious, you know, 'cause I know it's a whole different dynamic.
Yeah. So the first problem that occurred with Napster, that's when the music business started to realize that digital distribution was going to eat its lunch, because you could distribute music online without having to have a physical record. And the music business wasn't prepared for that, because it had grown fat on the business of selling first vinyl and then CDs. And in fact, the CDs had made the music business lazy, because they were making so much money off records that they had already paid for and had already sold millions of albums for. And now they were getting a new source of royalty of sales without having to invest anything more than another way to make them. So they didn't have to pay the artist again. The music was already made. So they made a fortune until Napster came along. So most artists who were making records before then and who are making records now, well, most of them are too old to be hit makers anymore, but physically selling records, where you had a way to track down how many were made, even though there were a lot of shysters who were selling them out the back door, but you had a way to track it. And so the money they made off selling records before digital was a lot more than they're making now from streaming records on Spotify. So that's why you hear a lot of the artists complaining about that, because they're having millions of streams, but they're not making the percentage of those millions of streams that they would if they were selling millions of singles, or even better, millions of albums. So what's happened now is that blockchain, I keep mentioning that, is going to change the business again, because blockchain will allow artists to be able to track every time their music gets streamed, and to track the payments process and get paid in a fraction of the time that it takes now to get paid. So right now it has to go through the whole music business legacy system, and everybody takes their cut before the artist gets paid. With blockchain, the artist will be able to get paid and eliminate a lot of the middlemen. So that's the next thing to look for artists putting out their music on blockchain. There are already blockchain companies that Spotify has invested in one. So the people who are now middlemen are trying to get ahead of that technology. But eventually artists will be able to create their own distribution and get paid faster because of blockchain. So it's going to change the business again. Right now, quite frankly, a lot of artists are getting ripped off because the money takes so long to get to them. And the music business finally figured out how to monetize streaming. And unfortunately, most of the money is getting stuck in the old record companies.
Old record companies.
Mhm.
Interesting. You just gave me an indirect idea that you said that. I'm gonna run that by you later. Interesting. You know, you keep dropping clues. So you have a lot of stuff up your sleeve in a positive way, I can tell. You know, so what's interesting, relation to what you're saying, how is BMI, businesses like that help artists track music internationally, what might be their role or not their role if you foresee the industry, in a sense, going that way with tracking royalties in a more, I guess, allegedly efficient basis versus the technology that is used today, whether that's an Excel sheet, whether that's split sheets, whether that is royalty shares, however that technical paperwork side works. Is BMI in general, or companies like that, up on changing the industry so they don't become like a Blockbuster, for example?
Right. Yeah, from what I see from reading about the record business, there's a lot of consolidation going on where, you know, the big companies are buying into new technologies because they don't want to be sideswiped like they were with Napster. So they're very aware of what's going on with blockchain and other new technologies, and they're definitely getting ahead of it because, you know, once you're in that position, you don't want to lose it. And then they saw how close they came to losing it when Napster surprised them. So they're definitely investing in and keeping an eye on companies that are, you know, using new technologies. And, you know, so the distribution of music, the whole matrix has shifted. You have a company like TikTok that was non-existent 5 years ago, and now they're considered a music distributor. So the any way that you can get to people, that's how music is going to be distributed in the future. So the legacy companies are definitely not sleeping on it, and they're getting their hands in there. So the good thing is that the artists who are aware enough and who have the resources, they can actually be on an equal footing with the BMIs of the world because the technology allows them to be on the equal footing. So artists like Chance the Rapper, you know, he's never been with a major label. He's never had to deal with a RCA or any of those. He's put out his own music from the beginning. Now, there are some issues, some legal issues that he's facing right now, but he shows that you can do it on your own by just using the platforms that are out there. So I'm sure that other artists are going to be doing that, and you're going to be hearing more people putting out their own music on a combination of blockchain and digital streaming. If you control the hit from the beginning, you can control the collection too. And a lot of artists have awoken to that fact and are now looking into ways of making it fairer for them. I saw a chart and where the whole system of the industry is going to change in the next 2 to 5 years because of blockchain, where the distribution will become fairer and quicker. So all that's actually in the works right now, and everybody's aligning. Managers are becoming record companies, and record companies are joining up with managers. There's a lot of consolidation going on. You can see the rights for publishing Bob Dylan's catalog sold for $300 million. $300 million for one artist's catalog. So there's a lot of money in the business especially for the older music, which is already paid for. So it's a very interesting time in the business, and anybody who's savvy enough can be almost on an equal footing. I mean, Dylan could basically start his own conglomerate now with that 300 million.
Yeah. You know, that's no, that definitely, you know, definitely that can go anywhere. You know, in relation to, you know, with everything. So in relation to that, with the BMIs and the blockchains, as you know, Jay-Z, you know, came out with Tidal, you know, so I guess artists can have more of their royalties or their rights. When that came out, I guess in your professional opinion, the mission of that, is that doing that? Or is it doing like more of a BMI, you know, because of everything, I know just like there was boycotts or whatever the case, I'm not too much familiar with it, but I know Tidal came out as a way of better artist representation, you know, so how does that, I guess, compete or relate to BMIs and similar, you know, does that mean every artist moved to Tidal, or do they, like, how does that work?
So BMI is mostly a publishing company. So it's ASCAP and BMI. Those are the two big legacy publishing companies that have been in existence since the 20s. So they're the major publishing companies in the world. So Tidal is a streaming service, and they were created by Jay-Z. I think he's selling the company. I heard he was selling it for, you know, a nice profit to compete with Spotify, because of what I said, the streaming business doesn't compensate artists at the level that selling physical records did. And I guess it's because of the nature of streaming. So the digital dollar is not as good as the physical dollar was for artists. You know, Jay-Z, he got into business to compete with a Spotify. And at some point, you become big enough so you become like a Spotify. I don't know what the numbers are in terms of what he pays artists, but he obviously owns it, so he pays himself more. So right away, he's better off than dealing with Spotify. Then he signs other artists who he gives a better deal than they would get with Spotify. I think one of the great things about hip hop is that it's created a model, and you know, Black music has been able to do that for a long time, but it's created a model just like Motown did, where we show that we can control a product that we create, and we can control it all the way to the bank. So, you know, what Jay-Z did is follow what Berry Gordy did. And that is, you know, once you make some money or you raise some money, you create a product that continues to turn money over. So he just imitated a model that Berry Gordy had put out there before him. So let's not forget about Berry Gordy and Motown. They really set the model. So I don't know if that answers your question, but I think the takeaway is that if the technology was not as good as it is, and Jay-Z didn't understand it, then he wouldn't have that opportunity. He would just go along with whatever they did. But he understood the technology, and that's what we have to recognize, that, you know, we're living in a totally different society than we did 5 years ago, and we have to get on board with the technology, because that's going to control everything. It's already controlling mostly everything. It's going to do that in the future.
You know, somebody says, you know, we're going to have to get Arnold Schwarzenegger or something like that, because the way the computers are going, you know, and everything, you know, like cyberdyne or cybernet, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Artificial intelligence is here. It's what's behind the Google and the algorithms. It's not a science fiction idea. It's here. It's being used right now. So the combination of all those things, artificial intelligence, blockchain, it's all it's creating a different kind of world. And, you know, yeah, we have to be part of that.
That's interesting, you know, and with royalties and artists, you know, like one artist I'm working with, well, I'm working with two or three artists, you know, some underground, some above ground. And, you know, one of them sent me their split sheets and the telegram of split sheet that and this and this and I was like, thinking in my head, is there a better way this can be like consolidated, you know, with the order? It was a text message order for, you know, whatever the case. And, you know, and they were like, you know, we're going to get you your funds, you know, we're just dealing with whatever backlog, you know, I don't know the terminology, but whatever backlog happens with that. And, you know, you mentioning blockchain as, of course, being the you know, I see it somehow making it easier for the companies and the artists.
Yes.
You know, like as soon as you release a music or a beat, whatever, you do whatever, you know, whatever masters, whatever the coding is for the masters, and then you press enter, and then somebody in Antarctica listens to it, and in less than a second, you get your whatever, I don't know, $1, $5, 10 cents, whatever, you know, and then somebody over here listens to it, and then over there listens to it, and it's tracking it with the AI. So instead of maybe getting a monthly check or a quarterly check, however it works,
get it right away.
Get it right away at 1 p.m.
10 minutes.
10 minutes, right? Say max 15 minutes because of the gas charges or the gas, you know what I mean? You know, you know, getting it in that second, right? But now we're going to take a little bit advanced now, because I do financial education for artists and entrepreneurs. So when they have their royalties, how are they keeping their royalties tax-free? How are they developing any state? So when you do see 10 million come in, you don't spend 10.5 million. Right, you want to have that financial literacy behind it, and you also want to make your royalties last to generate more. But at the same time, how are you also giving back to the community with unity as you're developing that income as well? So that is very, very powerful in order to have that benefit, you know, among people as well. Because, you know, music is going different places, and this can be one way, when built correctly, to have that music control that artists definitely aspire to do. You know, so that is very, very powerful, very, very important. And welcome to people who just joined the Powerful Pioneer stream, the Black Lives, you know, Blackstream TV, Powerful Pioneers TV. You know, we are talking about unity, empowerment, business ownership. You know, we're speaking today on different entrepreneurs doing their topics. For me, for example, I do financial education with business ownership, where I teach business owners and artists how to create tax-free income, literally, and how to keep it no matter what you're doing in life. And I'm also just partnered with a program that actually also pays you daily in relation to the different blockchain technology, which I'm going to release to Powerful Pioneers and anybody associated with that as well. The young brother who's in the music world was just speaking about that, you know, blockchain in general with the music. So it's very, very powerful. You know, we had Sister Ayoka talk as well with the movement of Black products, you know, Black-owned company buying Black-owned, you know, soap, perfume, food, everything, you know, with a powerful information in the chat box. And we also had Latana Caretti do some spoken word on her channels and advertise, you know, her cause and her mission as well. Oh, she would get to talk about the reflexology. She was so humble about that. I don't know if she got the chance to speak on the reflexology, but say it again.
I said I slightly did.
Oh, she slightly did. Slightly did. I just heard the poetry.
Overview.
Okay. Do you want to speak on that? You want to speak on that or a little bit more?
Okay. Well, as far as the reflexology goes, what it is for people who may not be sure of what reflexology is basically a modality where you press and massage acupressure points within mainly the hands and the feet to jumpstart the healing process within the body. So I am very fascinated with that science, and I choose to specifically focus on foot reflexology because that is your foundation. Without your foundation, you're pretty much imbalanced. So, you know, it is very vital to take care of yourself at the foundational point and build up. Um, what got me into it was I actually had reflexology as a course when I was taking massage therapy school. However, I took more into the science of reflexology, so that's what I stuck with. I didn't continue on within that within the massage therapy school. However, because when I was a student there, I did work study. So I worked within the office and the clinic, and I got to see. I basically did a bunch of paperwork and administrative work, and teleports and all those things. And I got to work in the clinic, so I got to see, the different energies that was coming in. Possible energies that I may have to, come into contact with as a massage therapist. And my my school was downtown in downtown New York and in Manhattan, and certain energies that I've experienced even just as a administrative worker, as as an assistant and things, I didn't really resonate with. And in my mind, I said, I don't think I want to do this, commercially, as far as working at a spa and things of that nature, because this work is physical work, yes, but it is energy work nonetheless. When you get whether it's Reiki or massage therapy or reflexology, you are exchanging energy with different people. You exchange your energy and they exchange their energy. And for me, I take on a lot of energy easily. So I felt the need to narrow down, the category of energies that I would possibly be taking in. So I left the school, but I kept on with my studies, personal studies, with reflexology. And yeah, I've been a practitioner ever since. I love bringing it to, I love bringing the modality, the practice to like-minded people, who I resonate more with, who, I feel are, lighthearted, very lighthearted. So I don't ever see myself doing this kind of work commercially. So of course, this is my private practice, so I am a practitioner. I am a specialist because I am a forever student as well as a teacher to my craft, among other things that I do. But obviously, with reflexology is a nonstop study, right? So yeah.
Definitely. And with reflexology, what does that, for the people who don't know, what is the specialty of reflexology?
What do you mean?
What area of the physical body does that focus on? Is it like the back? Is it the hands? Is it the feet? Is it the like? What does that
Oh
mean?
yeah, I had said it before. It's the mainly the feet and hands, but I do believe when I was doing my research, you could do reflexology actually on the face and on the ears, which is pretty cool. But of course, my practice is focused on the feet because when you are working, when you're a busybody, when you're a busy mom, a busy dad, and you're always working, 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 uh, and even an entrepreneur, sometimes you may all well most of the time you are on your feet, you are getting things done, you're making sure that the children is taken care of, you're making sure your business is running smoothly, so you don't really pay attention as much to your foundation really, which is your feet. The feet is the last thing people really rarely think about. You're always washing your hands. I mean, of course, you don't want to spread any germs. You're always washing your body, your face, and things. And like, yeah, if you're in the shower or something, you wash your feet. But are you taking the time out to get any of these physical or energetic modalities done to your feet specifically? You're always hard on your feet. Your feet always take you where you need to go. And if you know I don't want to I don't want to find out how it is to have an injured foot and having to, still maneuver and take care of business. Okay, so it's very vital that you give your feet, your foundation, tender love and care as well as much as you give the rest of your body. And not to mention, considering that the bottom of your feet is the sensitive part on your body, uh, and it's the most absorbent. So that's why sometimes people do foot detoxes and things of that nature. Reflexology helps to jumpstart that as well.
Got
It-
it. Got it.
right. So like even if you do a good, soak up your feet and then have a person like me come work on your feet, that would be a good regimen to do. So I would recommend getting like reflexology done. It really depends on where you're at in life and how busy you are. But if you can, possibly once a week or every 2 weeks or however your schedule is, but definitely get it done often. And for the people who are is not new to the spa and things, get it done as much as you would get a regular massage done or a facial or something like that done. You know.
Got you. Got no. That is right. That is very important because people can neglect their feet, but like
Yeah.
it's right up there with oxygen. What would you
Yeah.
say to all jokes aside, because it may sound
Okay.
funny, but it may sound funny, but it's not a funny question.
Okay.
For people out there, whether male or female,
Mm-hmm.
some might be apprehensive to have a reflexologist touch their feet
Mm, you
because
know.
of
No, go ahead. Finish your
I'll say
question.
because of they may have athlete's foot, the male or the female.
Right.
They may have certain things, so they could maybe feel embarrassed about their foot. So how does one get over that embarrassment if they are, or what is some
Right.
of the things that they can do before they see somebody like you?
Okay, see, I've had that done a couple of times. I won't say who, but
No, we don't need
whenever
to.
I
Yeah,
were yeah. Uh, I had a king say that, I didn't know that I would have to take off my shoes, or not take off my shoes, but take off my socks. didn't get my feet done yet. I don't like women to see my feet all crusty and not done. And I'm just like, listen, I see plenty of different types of looking feet. It's okay. You're just like, yeah, no. No, that's all right. So even if you just, like I said before, soak your feet, before you get in, maybe, clip the toenails. I would say that. But I would also say, as a reflexologist and, seeing different types of looking feet, it really doesn't make a difference to me. And I feel that if you go to the right person to do this sort of physical energy work, they wouldn't make you feel any sort of negative way in the first place, you know? And if they have the right tools and things, like, I know some places, they have hot towels, so you can wrap your feet up in that, and wipe your feet off and things, cleanse it, of course sterilize, but you shouldn't ever feel, or rather the practitioner shouldn't ever um, make you feel uncomfortable. It, the only thing that would make you feel uncomfortable is your own thoughts. So come in, confidently, and if you feel the need to, you can go ahead and get your feet done, before you come in and things, but it's not, too much of a requirement. I'm here to do the work, and funny enough, I would say this: I'm here to do the work, not take your money. So one time before, I believe this when we had went to Texas, and I was feeling kind of off. My energy was a bit thrown off, and I was just like, and if you remember, Raymond, how everybody was saying that uh how much people in during the Texas retreat wanted, reflexology. And I was just saying, like, I told them, I said, listen, my energy is off right now, and as a healer, it's my duty not to transfer this type of energy to you. So maybe tomorrow, So, go into it. Um, Actually, I would say go to a person that you trust, build a relationship with that person, as far as professionally, of course. But yeah, if you feel the need to get your feet done, go ahead. At most, just soak your feet in things before you come. Um, you know, before you come for your appointment. But it really doesn't make a difference.
So you heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks. She is non-biased towards feet.
No.
So don't feel bad if you have to see her, because a lot of people, or jokes aside, could be self-conscious about their feet.
Right.
We all seen the movie Boomerang. We've all, and so
Yeah.
we get these subconscious images, and we have to, in order to grow, get that out of us, and things like that. So in terms of the feet, in your practice, do you use like pumice stones? Do you use like whatever stuff that people use to make the feet hot, or
Oh,
is it
like the
just,
estheticians.
say it again, I'm sorry?
I said, you mean like the estheticians?
You know that word better than me.
Okay. uh, okay, so I just massage the feet, and I use well, if you go to, okay, I'm gonna break it down like this. If you go to my Blackstream page and you see the doTERRA, that is a well-known essential oils brand that I am a wellness advocate for. So yeah, so I use their products. I use the fractionated coconut oil and as a carrier oil, and I use mainly lavender essential oil, because it's my favorite. And it helps, it helps the client to relax, and ease stress and things. But I am the type to, I really, and this is why I can't do, or rather I won't do anything commercially. I would love to have my own practice because I like setting up the ambiance, you know, and not just, I don't see any, I don't see it helping if you're playing some type of elevator music. So during my sessions, I like to play Sade,
Okay.
and like candles, and then, use the oils and things just to ease the person's mind. And you can never really go wrong with playing Sade. I haven't heard someone say, I don't like her music, I don't want it playing. Every
Gotcha.
time, it's always best to, at least for me and what I like to do. So yes, I use essential oils, mainly lavender and, coconut oil, and I just use that, and I do my practice.
Nice, nice. So guys, definitely hit her up, guys and ladies, hit her up for, reflexology, to definitely help with that. If you have like any pain, if you need
Right.
relaxation,
Yeah.
she definitely could help in that category. And she can maybe send you some literature on it, and I know it sounds funny, but people
Yeah,
might want literature to get comfortable,
absolutely.
you
Matter of
know,
fact, I'll put my email in the messenger.
so that's very, very key and important. Okay, awesome, awesome. Would anybody else like to, keeping the floor open? I do also maybe want to share about tax-free income, but before I mention some stuff on that or share a picture or two, I want to give the floor open to other individuals who would love to share their passion or their service, and also in relation to, not just being busy, but be busy getting positive stuff done. So who would like to go next? I think I see Murray
Hey,
Allen.
brother Raymond, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep. Check 1, 2. I can hear you.
Fantastic, fantastic. I'm going to call and all the information is being shared, brother. Really appreciate it. My name is Murray Allen. I'm with MC Credit Empowerment. And what I'd like to talk about briefly, brother, is something that most business and entrepreneurs are not really talking about, but it's extremely interesting. Can you hear me?
You're breaking up. You're going in and out.
Can you hear me,
Going
brother?
in and out. Yeah, I can hear you, but you may have to switch your position because you were going in and out a little bit.
How's that? Is that a little better?
Yes, for now.
Okay. All right. I'll be very brief. One of the things that business entrepreneurs should be aware of is positioning themselves to get business credit. Oftentimes, what they don't realize is that usually when you go to a bank or an institution where you want to borrow money, excuse me, one of the contingencies is that you must have a good credit score. I mean, it's not to say that if you have a 620 that you're not going to get a loan. You can certainly get a loan at 620 or 600. The caveat is the fact that you're going to have to pay the high interest rates that goes along with that. And that is something that in time may compromise your business. What I mean by that is the fact that if in fact your business does not thrive, it bellies up, and you end up folding, you're going to have to pay all that money back, regardless whether the company is existing or not. You're going to have to pay that loan back personally. And that's going to cascade into a sort of a domino effect in your personal finances. And so the reason why business credit is so essential and is important, because it positions you as an entrepreneur and business owner to be able to get a loan on a business perspective. In other words, if in fact you get a loan with your business credit and your company, for whatever reason, folds, you don't have to deal with that on a personal level anymore. You deal with it on a business level. Why is that important? Well, simply because that's what a lot of the millionaires, billionaires do in their businesses. They never compromise their personal assets and finances with their business. So it's very, very unfortunate to know, even up until the year 2021, that only 10% of business entrepreneurs know or even use business credit. You know, statistically speaking,
wow.
According to Dun & Bradstreet, of the more than 500,000 companies that extends credit to businesses, do you know that only 6,000 actually report information to the business credit bureaus? Yeah. So that's less than 1% of businesses. And why the reason why this is significant is because you must be able to report the fact that your net 30s or your net 60s that you're paying, which means if you're getting credit from vendors, and particularly at a net 30, which means 30 days to pay them back, and you do it in a timely fashion, or you do it earlier than usual, you must report that to Dun & Bradstreet. So that why? So that you can have your paydex score, which is almost similar to a personal credit score, on the records to show that if any lenders come around and look at your paydex score and it's favorable, they will more likely give you a loan to more capital to build your business. So, you know, it is something that always amazes me when I talk about it or I share information or give my classes on it. And I'm like, you know, you must transition. You must transition and get out of the quagmire of dealing with your business on a personal level. It is a transition. It is a rug or a ladder that you must go through to get to that level of business credit. However, you must understand and be aware that it is something that you have to initiate, and particularly when you are starting a business. So I just wanted to share my little ditty on that. And for those who are interested in taking one of my classes, I certainly have classes of business credit. And of course, my forte is personal credit as well. And so if anyone's interested in finding out more about it, they can certainly call me at 1-888-317-1702, along with free credit consultation.
Definitely. Please put your information in the chat. And one of my questions is, what is more, well, maybe not what is more important, yet how does one develop good business credit if their personal credit may not be where they would like it to be? How does that work, or does it even work in tandem with each other at all or not?
Well, you know, the most important thing that I tell folks, entrepreneurs, is that if your personal credit house is not in order, you best believe you're not going to get business credit lending. So it has to be in that order. It has to be in that order. So therefore, you know, the way they look at it is that, you know, why should I loan you, you know, this money and your personal credit is not even favorable? You know, they use personal credit as a gauge, okay? They use it as a gauge to determine whether or not they're going to lend you money. Again, you know, I work with the Harlem Commonwealth Council for many years. It is a company in Harlem that's been around for over 50 years. It's a for-profit organization. And the way I work along with them is they knew that they had loans available for the entrepreneurs, whether existing or newcomers. They would allow them to get loans at a 600 credit score, sometimes maybe a 590. But the interest rate was ridiculous. So I came in to educate them about what to do, you know, the steps that you have to take. And I always emphasize, you must have your personal credit in order first. Then we can start to go to the next levels of building on a business credit level. So there's no two ways about it. Get your personal house credit in order first.
So that makes sense, because we know that in people's lives, you know, they can have an 800 score and then life happens and it goes to 600. And you're like, whoa, I was doing so well, but they're looking at the new score, yes, not your old history. And you're thinking they're going to bank on your old history, not what most recent, because it's not like you're a bad person. Life just happened. But it's like, oh, life happened to you. We don't like you anymore.
Right.
You know, and it's funny from a personal experience. When life happened to me, you know, my credit score was high. Now it's a little bit lower, not too low. But when I'm not going to say the bank name, but I was with a certain bank, and when my credit score was at a certain point, I got the English speaking people. When stuff happened in life, I got the Indian speaking people. I said, this is funny. I said, I'm not even trying to sound like messed up. It's just what happened at that particular bank. And I said, wow, this is interesting. Is it what an interesting lesson, or whatever you want to call it, that English, American English, or England English, and then after that it went to like Filipino or Indian. When I was said, this is funny. I said, it's messed up, but this is funny.
Yeah, that's really interesting to mention, because oftentimes what happens is that because the credit reporting agencies are extremely populated with so many people who have credit issues, they actually outsource that information to different areas of the world, like, for example, Chile, India, also some parts of Jamaica. They outsource information to these extended companies or agencies. And so therefore, when people try to send these letters and they try to campaign in regards to their credit reports, they have to outsource it. So here's a very interesting part about that. And you talk about language, and of course, we're not discriminating. It's just what it is. What happened often is that when they outsource information, they have these codes. They encode the information that's based on the letters. It depends on what was done. Was it late? Were you sick? They're all coded in different ways. So just imagine translating information to the encoders who have a language barrier. You could say, okay, you need to code that as a 7-8. They may not interpret that the same way because of the fact that they don't understand, maybe how to pronounce the letters or the numbers correctly. So that in itself can cause people's credit score to plummet because of the fact that the encoding information that is put in is totally misunderstood and incorrect. So, it's a crazy game out there, man.
Wow, that's deep, because when you don't know, you don't know, right? And wow, that is that is deep. That's crazy. So yeah, are you going to be doing any webinar sessions on this topic? That people can learn more about, or or a concise version of what people would need to know to make sure that what can they do to get their personal credit if they also want to develop business credit later. They had an 800, but then life happened and they fell to like 600, and it was like, I don't know what happened. I was fine, but what happened?
Yeah.
So
I definitely have. I'm actually working on an itinerary for the next couple of months on a weekly basis of the subject matters that I'm going to be covering. And so if anyone wants to readily want to know how soon I'm going to be talking about this particular topic, I probably will start talking about it next week. There's so many things to cover in terms of credit, especially because of the pandemic that's going on right now. One thing that I do advise people that if in fact they're going through some hardships, if in fact you are having challenges with your credit because of the covert situation, what I would implore you to do is reach out to your lender, your creditor, talk to them about your situation. There's an old saying, a closed mouth never gets fed. Talk to them. They know what's going on right now. They should be very altruistic of what's going on with this pandemic. So talk to them and say, hey, listen, I need you to lower the interest rates for a little while. I'm going through a hardship. Well, you know what? Give me a forbearance right now. I can't really deal with all this, the debt that I'm exuding right now. And also if you are a person who have talent, if you're a writer, if you're a consultant of any area that's viable in people's lives, if you're creative, if you have things that you do as a hobby, monetize it. Monetize it. Why not? I mean, you have the creativity, you have the love for it. Monetize it. Turn it into a business, so therefore you can be able to gain some more capital, some more money, so you can add to that bill or that credit debt that you may owe. And the last thing I want to add, brother, really quick. If you ever get a credit card, or if you have a credit card right now, Find out whether or not they have a credit card insurance plan.
What does that mean?
What I mean by that is that they actually have credit card companies where if you, it's optional. Okay, it's optional. If you want them to take out a certain amount of money, okay, out of your checking account or credit card, or excuse me, your debit account, whatever, to pay $14, maybe $10 a month, just in case you get unemployed, just in case life happens. What will happen is that after it's almost like prepaid legal services, right? You're getting something that you hope don't happen, but if it does happen, you have insurance. So what you're doing is just paying a premium with that card every month. Because I know a person who actually had their credit card for 5 years and they've been paying $14 every month, and they became unemployed. They reached out to the credit card company and say, listen, this is my situation. I've been unemployed now. I understand that I have insurance. They say, you know what? We're going to check this out, send us some information, documentation. And what they're starting to do is they're paying their premium every month now on their credit card. Okay. So therefore, that's one less credit card they have to worry about paying.
Wow. That is very important. I know for some people, when they ran into hardships of life happens, sometimes the credit card companies pay the minimum balance for you. If you're like a consistent payer, on the card, like if you don't ask, you don't know. I remember one time when the interest rates were better a long time ago, I would call my credit card company every 3 or 4 months and say, can I get a low interest rate? Can I get a low interest rate? Can I get a low interest rate? I'll annoy the heck out of them. And then I got my card so low to like 6%, which is unheard of. But then and my credit limit was like 15,000. But life happened. Long story short, life happened. I needed to use all that, and then all that changed. And I don't regret what happened. The learning experience. But it was like, where are you going to find a 6% interest rate on a credit card? Unless you get the 0% one that they have now, and then it goes up a little bit. But you try to call today, they're like, oh no, we don't lower it. What do you mean you don't lower it? Let me talk to the supervisor.
Right, that's right.
You know what I mean? Like, no, it's in your power to lower it. It's based on ABC 1, 2, 3. It doesn't have to stay at 19%. It doesn't have to stay at 23%. Just keep calling and asking and see what they tell you. A lot of people may not be aware of that.
You're absolutely right. And this is something that, people, again, particularly because of this pandemic that we're going through right now, you have to cover all the bases that you possibly can. You have to look at all the resources. And of course, you have to be very parsimonious as well, right? You have to make sure that you're willing to save money and be frugal, So things change.
Exactly.
That latte you had before, you can't get a latte no more. I mean, this stuff adds up, man. It gets expensive at times, and when you look at the numbers, you're like, oh my God, I spend about $300 a year on latte.
Yeah, it's true. It's funny you say that. It's part of the industry. One of the things I do to help business owners and clients, I do like a cash flow statement sheet, very simple, straightforward, nothing complicated. And it's very interesting to see the reactions when it gets to that bottom number, because I help people see their fantasy, and I help them from the fantasy see the reality. And and that reality is very interesting. So it's like, what do you want to do? Do you want to improve it? Do you want to stay the same? Do you want to learn other business incomes? Like, I'm partnered with different people that have different businesses. Do you want to learn to make more income to improve the situation here? Or do you want to work 4 jobs and then like work 200 hours a week, and then you still have kids that you never see? Wow. What do you want to do? So then it's like a silence, but it's the real silence. It's not, oh, hey, you're gonna no, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that, So, but no, I thank you for everyone sharing. I want everybody else to basically go first. I may or may not share a passage in the book that I teach on. I had an amazing experience with another business entity today, and he educated me on, oh yeah, by the way, I met another individual, he actually does Aflac, and basically you get money for when you get hurt or if you can't go anywhere, or services. So it is an amazing service he was educating me about. You know, he's not a brother, but he means well. You know, he's not a brother, but he means well, you know. So, you know, cool gentleman. And I also showed him what I do for business, and he loved that I talk about tax-free income for business owners. So, you know, and also wills and trusts, because on their form, they have a section, you know, like, do you know what to pass down? Do you know how to pass it down? So he likes that my firm educates on that, you know, and things like that. So I'm definitely going to be, you know, sharing some of his stuff, you know, because his heart was in the right place, you know, it seemed, and stuff like that. So I don't mind helping people, you know, whose heart is in the right place, you know, and stuff like that. So I definitely will be, you know, sharing what he does among what I do, of course, as well, first and foremost. So, you know, I just want to share. I'm gonna let me see if I can find this real quick, you know, for a conclusion topic. So the question is, you know, with changing the subject, you know, do people know about tax-free income? Do they know how to legally receive tax-free income, right? Or are they nervous or scared of tax-free income? Whether you are a music artist, the business owner, if you want to keep producing your royalties, how do you keep your royalties or your income or your revenue tax-free? How do you have tax strategies where you lower your tax basis, but you also have good income? If you have a 401k, for example, what if you do a strategic rollout or a strategic rollover, or more matter of fact, a strategic rollout where you can move it to a location where you pay like no taxes once you get rid of the taxes to have a tax-free lifestyle? Whether you are a 9-to-5er, whether you're a business owner, whether you make 10,000 a year or a million a year, what are you doing to advance yourself to make that happen for you? So when you see your taxable account, it says close to zero instead of like 40%, right? So that is subjects that I teach on and emphasize on, that is really important to understand. So I'm going to share a quick graph right now, and maybe during another Friday night session, I'm going to go a little bit more detail into it. But I'm just going to highlight, because 11:25, and I thank you for you guys being on and listening. I'm going to highlight right now certain categories where people keep their money. I'm going to highlight a category where when people learn about it, they want to do what that section of the lifestyle is doing, because it is that important, very, very important. So I'm going to share a PDF. Let me see if I can find the right PDF. Going to share a PDF. Where'd it go? All right. I'm going to load it up here, make sure I get the right thing before I share it. But I think everybody would like to have, you know, tax advantage, tax-free income for their future lifestyle. So what I'm going to show you here is basically 4 buckets where people put their money and funds, and then with the frame of the conversation, where people put their money and funds, and then also where the wealthy put their money. So I want to reference a gentleman who I've also been learning from his private classes that he hosts, and also his YouTube videos. And a lot of you who have worked with me, or if I talk with you, I've been sharing with you guys something by the, you know, different videos by Doug Andrews. So when I share about the laser fund and tax-free income, you know, I back it up with videos from Doug Andrews, who's also been teaching us in a master class how to improve your craft, right? So whatever industry you're in, you also want to find leaders, mentors, and people who can help you improve upon your craft of what you do. So I'm just, you know, giving a shout out to that. I'm going to share the buckets. We also have a book called Saving Your Future book, which is developed by my firm, World System Builders, as well. The Saving Your Future book breaks down different financial concepts that one would like to know also. So I may share that a little bit depending on the time, but I'm just going to share this quick concept, and then in the future, probably next time, I'm going to go a little bit more deeper into it, because I really believe that people need to know this information, no matter what business that they're in, and also take advantage of it. I'm going to share my screen. Share screen here. Share sound screen. Okay, got that here. So I'm going to go here. So now I'm going to go to, this is called 4 retirement buckets. I hope you guys can see this. Hope you guys can hear it clearly. Now, among the topic of, earlier, being busy, be busy, and then coming together, this is a way where we can be positively busy on making sure our finances are straight and improved. So when one is working through life, we are usually taught to what? Get a job, get a 9-to-5, and it's fine, nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, we also want to develop other income streams in case we get let go. But also, as we're working throughout our years, we may have IRAs and 401ks, we may have stocks, we may have bonds, we may have mutual funds. Let's say maybe 25% of our money might be in here because it's basically forced to be in here from a 401k. As we come up in life, we maybe get a large lump sum of money, or we may start having a family. We're going to start to own some real estate. But at the same time, we may do Airbnb, or we may rent out some of our houses. So we have another bucket over here that's known as real estate income. You may see a lot of artists or business owners buying up real estate and renting that income out. But also at the same time, what if you want to move your cash? What if you want to move your cash in that real estate to be leveraged for other resources, right? So we show people how to do that. How do you take the equity out of different buildings so it grows quicker in other resources? So there's strategies to do that. We also educate you on that some of your money when you retire in the future may be in pensions, social securities, or annuities. This basically means the guaranteed income portion of your bucket. But at the same time, you are taxed on annuities, and you're also taxed sometimes on pensions. But here's the kicker about these right here. You're all taxed on something over here. The question becomes, do you want to lower your tax base? And if you're also older, what also happens that you may or may not be aware of is that when your children graduate from college, you can't write them off anymore. If you pay off your house or your houses, that interest deduction goes away. So how are you lowering your tax base when you get older and you say you're going to retire to be in a lower tax bucket, a lot of them say, but you may actually be in a higher tax bucket. The other thing I want you guys to realize, with all the money that is given out by the government to help sustain people during COVID, that money is eventually, quote unquote, going to be made up from somewhere. And it most likely might be made up with higher taxes. So right now, today, we are in the lowest tax bracket of our life in general. So our goal is to teach families and business owners how to strategically roll your money or strategically roll out your money from high taxable assets to no tax assets or very low as possible. And one of the ways we educate people to do that is to take advantage of something called a laser fund. And a laser fund stands for, guys, liquid assets safely earning returns. Again, laser fund, liquid assets safely earning returns. And the way that works is, to keep it simple, is that when it copies the stock market, it's not directly invested in it. So when the market goes up, you make money. And when the market goes down, you don't lose any money. I want you guys to imagine 2008 and COVID. What happened? The stock market dropped. If you had a 401k, it became a 201k. Some people lived, some people unfortunately died. But the people who were educated about the laser fund and had their money there did not lose a penny, literally. And then when the market went up, they captured the gains compared to people who had to double or triple from their losses. What's also beneficial about this is that if you have a crazy ailment or illness, the companies will also give you a check depending if you qualify, which is also amazing. So, and this is coordinated like this on purpose, because the green part is where you want to be for tax-free income. If you have a business, you can also have like a Roth 401k. I have an LLC. I have a Roth 401k where I get tax-free income in the future for that. And I also have 2 laser funds where I'm also personally developing tax-free income because I want my tax base legally low as possible. I'm not saying don't pay taxes because we need schools, we need our streets clean, we need this, but how can you legally pay the minimum that you're supposed to do while also having a great lifestyle? So those are some of the things that I teach in my classes to take advantage of. Not going to go too deep into it right now, but I'm going to be doing a special session for powerful pioneers and others to really learn this strategy to have maximum income, to have less taxes in the future, and have that peace of mind that we all strive for, no matter what business we're in. So that's a little trail, a little tidbit that I'm going to be focusing on. And this is my specialty in which I teach others on how to do exactly that. Whether you make $10,000 a year, $5 million a year, or $400 million a year, the concept is simple and straightforward for whatever income bracket you're in. And for the artists and entertainers out there that are watching this, it is important with the royalties that you make to keep having your royalties in the future outlast your career and not just survive on the royalties itself, but how are you also giving back to the community by sharing others how you did what you did. But at the same time, you're also creating your estate planning, leaving your wills and trusts together, because to be straightforward, Black Panther Chadwick Boseman did not have a will or trust in place. The artist formerly known as Prince did not have a will or trust in place. And many other heroes out there that didn't have a will or trust in place, but had all this income, and now their stuff is going through probate. We do not want our legacy and our dreams and our families to go through the muck because of lack of planning. So this strategy and fund helps you plan, and we have a team of people who help strategize and trust to help you build that foundation that you need. So next time on one of our sessions, I'm going to go more in detail about that in relation to how you build that for yourself and also for yourself, business, and family. So I want to say thank you guys for listening to that. I definitely would like to contact the people that were on here. And when we do another session, I'm definitely also want to do one especially for music people to learn how to do that correctly, because I'm currently working with underground and upper ground music artists. And when they heard this information, they were severely floored and shocked, right? So that's one of my niches and specialties. So thank you guys, for being on tonight. I don't know if anybody else would like to share or comment before I end the Powerful Pioneers Blackstream session tonight.
Yes, peace and blessings, family. This is Sister Ayoka. Number one, I just want to thank from the bottom of my heart everyone for being a contributor tonight. You have uplifted my spirits even higher, and I'm glad to know a bit more about what you all do. And I plan to seek you all out for the benefits of your products and services as well, because I also understand that, we as entrepreneurs, we must also support each other. It's not good to just have your hands out. While you have one hand out to receive with your business, be giving with your other hand. This is how money recycles. And this is how, just as blood travels throughout every organ of the body, throughout all of the tissues of our bodies, to keep us alive, to keep us whole, this is how we, as a community of entrepreneurs, stay alive. You see, we must support each other. That is highly taught in the Buy Black movement. So, I just want to put that out there. And also, Sister Latonica, I cannot wait until you come back to Brooklyn. Beautiful people. I gotta get my foot reflexology back on. This sister is masterful. I'm one of her clients, obviously. So I can tell you, when she gets done with you, you feel a great exuberance. I mean, I felt channels of energy going all the way up to my lip when she was dealing with me. So this sister knows her stuff. You understand? I love you all. And if I may just say, to end everything, the Buy Black movement, I did speak of the supporter program. What I didn't mention, which I think I'll just go ahead and mention now, is that What I love about their supporter program is that they offer what's called cash, reward cash, which means that everything that you buy, you earn a percentage back and a credit that you could use to get free product within the store. You understand? You know, they're not playing. And also they have a way of recognizing people who, you know, come on as supporters and they stay for a while. The more that you buy, the higher up in status you become. And I'm proud to announce we have one brother who have reached the status of what's called honored African, which means that he has purchased at least 10,000 points worth of Black product and service in the Buy Black Woman. He is the first person to achieve that. His name is Billy Lee Felder. And what the company does is once you reach that, I mean, throughout the whole way, you're getting rewards for that. You're getting awards and rewards. But you start off as a participant once you do at least 10 points. Once you get to 10,000 points, you become an honored African. And there are 4 levels of membership of the supporter program. Supporter 10, supporter 25, supporter 50, supporter 100. All those numbers mean is that, say you're going to be a supporter 10, that means you commit to buying at least 10 points worth of product or service for the whole month. That is so easy to do. If you just bought 1 bottle of the Motherland's Gold Moringa product I was telling you about earlier, that's 15 points. If that's all you did for the whole month. If you bought 1 bag of the Moringa tea, that's 10 points, okay? So they make it very, very easy. And if I may also say, again, I did mention that Tag Team Marketing has other programs. The Buy Black movement is just one. Let me also just talk about briefly, they have an educational component where right now you can sign up for free, create your free account, and you can watch highly educational, fortifying Black history programs that teach you entrepreneurship, all kinds of beneficial information on there. Right now, they're featuring an event called Wealth of the Black Race. Oh my gosh, it is phenomenal. Free to watch between now and this coming Sunday, 11:59 Pacific Standard Time. And then right after that, they're going to have another event that talks about you know, how Black people, how it's advantageous, what the huge potential is of the Black race. I mean, just masterful information. Also, they have something called Tag Team University. Tag Team University is just as that term denotes. It's the program where you have access to some of their courses, business courses that you can take. You know, some of it has to deal with credit, as many of you have pointed out. Some of it has to do with multi-level marketing, okay? But they also have within Tag Team University a wonderful, wonderful program that one can subscribe to. I don't know if I'm quite sure Brother Vernon remembers a brother by the name of Tony Brown, of Tony Brown's Journal, okay? This is a fantastic, I say is because he's still alive. He's in his 80s now. He's based right here in New York City. But back in the day, he worked as a masterful journalist. He had a program called Tony Brown's Journal that was on television. He interviewed all kinds of Black celebrities. He interviewed African presidents. He interviewed the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You know, he had programs talking about Black consumer spending back then. Just a masterful brother all around. So he has entrusted all of his close to 1,000 episodes of that program to Brother Dozino and Sister Debbie of the Buy Black movement. So in other words, within the Tag Team University, you have access to all of the episodes of Tony Brown's Journal. And it's said that to go through that great library, it would be commensurate with earning a PhD in Black history after you finish going through all of that. There's no way you can go through all that in 1 month. It's $29.99 to subscribe for 1 month. You have access to all of that information. But like I just said, you can't go through all that in 1 month. So if you subscribe for the whole year, they take 2 months off. So you're only paying $299 to subscribe for the whole year to get access to that legendary work. I mean, just masterful. You think that Tony Brown would entrust his life's legacy to a bunch of Black, self-aggrandizing people who don't care about Black people? No, he would not do that. He's too savvy and sophisticated for that. No way would he entrust his life legacy, that work, to Black people unless he checked them out himself, to make sure that these people were on the up and up. So, I just wanted to mention that they also have something called Tag Team TV, where they also have a plethora of, wonderful events that you can watch there. So it just goes on. And, I thank you for the opportunity. For those of you who want more information, I'll gladly give you a nice tour through the website. The Buy Black Woman website is just absolutely extensive, but powerful. It's like you get on there, you just can't get off, and you're just going to stay on there. Trust me. But yes, I'm at 347-385-1500.
Can you type it in the chat?
Yes, that's in the chat. Yes, and the website is www.buyblackmovement.com/Amen, AMEN. So I thank you all so very, very much. I love you, and I look forward to us, building together. This is just, this is the beginning. It's a continuum, So let's continue to do this. And thank you again so much. Peace and love.
Beautiful.
Most welcome. Definitely. Anybody else like to say closing words before we jet? Going once, going twice, and we're out. Thank you, brother, for sharing your thoughts with the music industry. That is most great education. I definitely have more questions for you, but I would definitely like to ask them off air. Brother Murray invited you on for tonight? Is that who invited you?
Yes,
okay,
he did.
Okay, I'll talk with Brother Murray and to get your information, if that's okay, kid. I would love to pick your brain and share some ideas with you. So, but definitely thank you for being on and dropping your knowledge. I definitely would like to see you return when we do more of these sessions.
Okay.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
All right.
You too. All right, guys. Catch you guys later. Thank you for being on tonight.
All right.